Roach
Got
reaches
my
for his
notes.
notes.
Yep, the tome.
We are
Must
ready.
open the tome.
The Book of Roach.
Yes. Also, the game's up. I think Tari, you still have to join in.
But he can't talk while he's joining because things.
He can't talk while he's joining. That's what I'm assuming. And also, Tari, we did not go much past whenever you left. We felt it was a good end-off point, and it was kind of a big thing with like intel and stuff, so we didn't go anything past that. Just cleaning off my glasses.
My glasses.
I can't see without my glasses.
Roach, but Velma.
Let's play Quarantine. Yes, let's do that,
And
JP.
I've got my glasses on. Yeah.
Quarantine.
It's a thing I'm thinking about. We've got the zombie rule, with the pandemic sub like scenario that we could run.
Yeah, next week is actually going to be a
COVID-19 is-
themed week. It's also going to be sponsored by Raid Shadow Legends.
As long as we don't
and,
use the
Audible.
word coronavirus and just use
Yeah.
COVID-19 or SARS-2.
Or,
There's also
or
a scientific name
CV.
for it. CV.
I know somebody who's a football
CV-19.
league.
Oh, that actually sounds like a sci-fi illness. CV-19.
It does, yeah.
I mean, there's already instances where people get the stuff removed for mentioning that. So thanks.
You're welcome.
Well, it's mentioning it in a certain way. Like the one lady that got permabanned for it is like she said she would break quarantine on purpose and then go like, spread it as much as possible because fuck poor people and old people, which is bullshit.
But anyway,
Yeah.
let's avoid talking about it. Was my point. Just
We
in
can't
case.
not talk about it, Midge. It's affecting the world.
I went through a
section of
4-hour
the
live
podcast.
stream without
Okay.
mentioning it once, apart from saying we were in quarantine.
which is
It's not that hard.
Which is mentioning it.
You broke your own rules, rival.
To be fair, we had to say. 'cause
Don't
they
mention
would
the
hear me
war.
coughing.
All right.
Right.
Utari, are you coming in? Because I've been trying to delay until you join in, so I haven't seen a connecting message.
Or is he dead? Have the zombies
I don't
got him in
know.
Scotland?
Okay, now he's connected. There we go.
Yeah, he can't talk while he's connecting. Remember?
Yeah, we know.
I
that.
know, but that was like 5 minutes, so I was wanting to make sure.
Yeah, it
I
could
didn't
be
know if
like-
he was just not here.
Them
His
Scottish
PC's
zombies
locked
got him,
up,
you know.
doesn't it? So
Okay. So, to recap last week, our little half section, you lot took stock of your post-battle selves, including all the damage you had taken, including anti-heal from until he actually
is Roach
rests.
really laggy for anyone else?
Yes.
Yeah.
I just put it down to his sparkling personality.
Yeah.
I think everyone's really lagging right now.
Because everyone's off, and including the Discord staff, they don't do
Uh-oh.
Oh
Hold on,
no,
I'm
he's
gonna
banning
change
the...
USC.
I already did. I already
Okay.
changed it.
Cool.
Yeah,
Change
that's
the
it.
region.
Yep. U.S. East. Let's hope that works.
Okay.
All right. Or that could be the first instances of the entire internet
No,
infrastructure going down.
we're in EU and it's 7:30. Everyone's just got home.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's true.
They were already
So-
Midge.
Not everyone.
He got a point though.
Not everyone.
Dinger.
Damn.
Quarantine humor.
My dad
Damn
currently
it.
still has to go in.
Red's on fire today.
Mine does too. All right. So, like I was saying, last week you took stock of all the damage you had taken, including Isaac's damage he can't even heal from until he takes a rest. You afterwards questioned. Well, you also questioned your prisoner, which you had taken, a lieutenant of the military force. It seems that you had been dealing with. Though she did not seem too fussed or forthwith with information, or providing information. But after you secured her by shackling both her wrists and ankles and then lashing her to a column of stone.
Hog tying her to a column of stone.
Went up the stairs that your former enemy, well, still enemy, but former direct enemy, Volred, seems to be a commander of some sort, a high-ranking commander, had gone up. After you ascended the stairs, you came across a room that contained what looked to be the maybe laboratory, arcane laboratory, or sanctum that had been used by Liban for many weeks. And then also found her body, because it seems as though Commander Volred killed her before leaving the premises, as you saw him going off into the western skies when you arrived on the back of a dragon, a shadow dragon. And now her dead body sits, hangs by being stabbed to a wall with a note that said liability, which you were able to decipher through the fact that Mog can read anything. You also found her notebook, which mentioned a whole bunch of tidbits of information. And we left off with you all trying to figure out what you were going to do next. Also having called your mercenaries that you had hired to bring to not bring the wagon, but come up. So some of them are staying at the wagon, others are moving up to the complex, and then we'll be joining you shortly after they get through the dormitories and up the tower. So, what would you all like to do?
We need to talk to Liban.
We need to check to make sure that our prisoner is still there.
Also agreed.
I think the prisoner still being there is more time sensitive than our elven friend here.
Druid.
I think myself and Ustinia should go check on our prisoner.
I think we could all go, correct? We can just...
If you feel like it.
I think we should stay together.
Yeah.
In case of any more traps or anything like that.
Alright then. Let's head down those stairs again.
Okay. It is a short jaunt.
Yeah,
it's a short jaunt down the stairs. It's you don't encounter anything, as you did not encounter anything going up. You exit the stairwell and are in the room that you had previously fought and bled in. You see Sala, Lieutenant Sala, sitting. Her back, like her front, looking at the column, because she has no real give either way, but she's just sitting like that. You know, her wrists like near her ankles, and just kind of waiting. Just
She's still
doesn't
blinking and
move.
breathing.
Yeah, it looks like it.
Allow me to ask that question, because I can probably tell.
I mean,
All right.
if
looks
she's
like it.
moving alive,
Yeah,
yeah.
looks like it. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just because of previous endeavors, I'm gonna walk up and actually touch her.
Just-
I'm not
Okay.
And
Okay,
you
all right.
Scream
Yeah.
and say something about not having given permission. How dare you?
He's from a church. He's used to that.
You go up and you go up and you like
Oh,
do that, and she's like looking at you, and then like recoils slightly before you touch her, and she's like,
okay, she's there. It's just
Bruh.
making sure no illusions.
That's about it. What'd you do with her hat, by the way? Did you give it back to
I
her, or
think
do
we
you
gave it
still
back. We kept it.
do you
I think.
still have it? I was just checking.
Yeah, I think we kept it. I think Mog kept it because she can read it.
Okay.
Yeah. Sure.
Our prisoner's still here, so. what
Yeah,
are we
we'll
gonna
wait
do
for
with
the.
Well, we can wait, but what are we gonna do about what's happened upstairs? Because obviously Liban will recognize all of us.
Maybe not me.
That's
Well.
what we said.
You've been with us for several months while traveling. At this point,
Yes,
I've-
but Liven's
I've
never
been-
come into physical contact with us, and we would have been able to sense if we were being scryed upon.
if they were sitting pretty close to you, right? Like it's not.
Yes, but
You were next to Mog most of the time on the way here.
well, it's not even that. It's if they didn't know Mog in the first place, how would they have scryed on Mog? It would have had to have been on one of us.
Yes. And can scrying let you see things outside of the individual?
No.
Not really.
Oh, well. All right. That's a lot of sense, mate.
Yes. So I had an idea.
Take cover.
I was going to suggest maybe that Mog try to convince the dead Liben that they were an ally, and maybe they'll get more information about it. Sesh, do you still have enhanceability?
I think I have one more in me.
Good,
Yeah, remember,
you
you still the same day as you did that.
Yeah.
Oh
last
yeah,
time. Yeah.
we know.
That's why I'm
We-
looking at my
we're
spell
aware.
slots, being like, I have one more of those in me. Well, technically,
Well,
I have two, but I don't want to use a level 4 spell slot on it because
If you could-
other things.
If you
It's
could
bad.
enhance Mog while Mog talks to Liben, maybe she might have a chance of getting a bit more information out than one of us.
Before
Well,
we
it
cast
is an
that
hour-long
spell,
spell.
I want to confirm which questions I should be asking her because I don't. You guys shouldn't be able to communicate with me whilst I'm communicating with her. Otherwise, the game is up.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
So-
enhanceability is an hour-long spell, and I can
Yeah.
concentrate on it, so I can cast it on you while we're down here, and you can go up and do it, which is a good thing.
Yeah, I just need to. I can't remember how many questions we get.
5.
5.
5. Okay.
If you're talking to speak with dead, the normal one, then yes, it's 5.
Speak with
Believe
it.
me, I check.
Thank you, Steam.
Yeah, twice at this point.
So, right. Meta time. I've put some questions in Discord. Can everyone decide which ones we should ask?
I was doing the meta dance because he's excellent at it.
What'd you say, Mikey?
Rival's doing the meta dance because he is very good at it.
Oh.
Oh no,
A
he's
little jig.
I've just bought a game on Steam dance. They're two very
Oh.
different dances, Mike, and you should understand
Oh,
this.
what'd you pick
Only-
up, Revel?
Pardon? Pardon?
What'd you pick
What?
up, Revel? What'd you pick up?
Darkest Dungeon and all the DLC
Oh, that's a good
good,
one.
good choice.
Oh,
good, choice.
one, yeah.
Excellent choice. Yeah.
for 12 quid.
You're going to
now.
hate it, but good choice.
Slow and insidious killer.
Oh, I love that guy. He's so
Do
good.
the
Yeah,
dance.
he's great.
Do the dance.
So
Just
I
Just
then-
remember, with
Mm.
the Speak with Dead, you will get one chance at this, and then you must wait 10 more
10
days
days,
to
yep.
do another one. So no
Yep.
matter how many casts or scrolls you have on this, you will get
Mhm.
you will only get 5 questions.
Yep.
And on top
every
of that,
10
we're in the
days.
middle of the fucking desert, which means that the body will rot quickly. Unless I cast like gentle repose on it, which I don't
We
think
could
I
put
have
her in the
prepared.
salt.
Oh, that's a
Oh, yeah, I'll put her in my salt bag. Let's go.
that's a whew, that's a whew.
Anyone want some preserved Liben?
No, thank you. I'm
God,
good.
I'm hungry. So hungry. Give us another strip of that Liben jerky.
Give us a string of
Good
that elf
jerky.
jerky.
Like nature.
Oh my god.
It's pure grain fed.
Pepperidge Farm remembers.
Boom.
Okay,
Alright.
anyway. So I think out of those ones, the most prevalent ones are 1, 4, 8, and 9, which is only 4 questions.
Yep.
But I don't know what the rest of you think. Discuss.
I agree with one. Do
Yep.
they have another base? That's a good question. Was anything mentioned about future plans? That's also a very prevalent question.
Where are they going?
Where are they going? That's a good one.
Do this actually.
Well, we know that the leader is heading towards like the successor kingdoms. Isn't that what they're
Yes,
called?
exactly. So where are
Yeah.
they going?
Where are they going? Why did they build this crap? I don't remember where that's from, but it's great. Where will the teleportation circle go? That's a, it's probably between 1, 4, 7, 8, 9 for me, because the learning if there are more of them that have been booned by Zagal, that would be interesting to know, because that way we know which one of them.
Oh, does
will
that
probably
say
get
more?
power.
No,
Yeah.
that only says 1, which we know.
Do we?
Yeah, we know the captain is.
Commander.
Commander is.
Do we though?
We're guessing.
Well,
We don't know
yeah,
for sure,
it's a
but he was
guess.
strong.
we're guessing purely for the fact that we asked him, "Do you work for Zagal?" and he smiled, and then
That's fair, yeah.
and then he was resistant to.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, he's strong, but he's no devouring swarm of starfish.
That's true.
Okay, so 1, 4, 8, and 9, I think everyone agrees on.
And if anybody's wondering what these numbers they keep saying are, there was a list of questions, of 9 questions proposed throughout the week, and they're
Yeah.
working off that list to see
Yeah.
which ones they should ask.
It was done today during my lunch break.
Yes.
Which is all day.
I was
would
giving
like
you
to
more
point
credit
out
to the group. To
So
the
she never
people
told me
listening.
about this list, and I was within 20 feet of her the whole frigging day.
I did.
Yeah.
Intelligence and didgeridoos.
No, that's on there. You didn't tell me you were right, and I'd have helped you, and we probably had something other than the 9 questions you sent out.
Fair.
Anyone got
Right
any
then.
other possible propositioned questions? Is
No,
another
because
thing.
I was
we should-
within 20 feet of her and I refused to help now.
Fair enough. That's allowed.
But does Rivallon refuse to help?
He's like, yes.
Rivallon, do you have any idea of what we should ask?
Was it painful when you died?
Oh God.
Oh, God, don't do that. Don't.
Now, you see, the thing is that they don't know they're dead. So even if you asked that question, it wouldn't work. But I thought it was very on point for Rivallon.
Yeah, actually, it's not too much. Anyway, did it hurt? A lot. Tell me the truth.
Describe to me in detail the sensation of the knife going through your eyeball.
And through your sternum.
Were you
Ow.
alive when the second wound was made?
Damn. Okay. Are we sure he's not the monster here?
We already know that I am.
Sent to searches.
Sent to search.
It's something a grave cleric would say to everybody.
Yeah. Just walking in from the doorway.
Do
just
you
a grave
consent
cleric.
to resurrection?
I mean, technically, I think there's a spell that would let me extend that for a few days, but I don't have it prepared.
That's. We don't need to resurrect
It would
our
be.
bad.
I also don't know if it would work because her soul might be, owned by Zagal now, and she might be like, no, sorry, not happening, sort of thing, But yeah, I'm pretty happy with 1, 2, not 8, and 9. The question. So, do they have another base? Was anything mentioned about future plans? Where will the teleportation circle go? And what do you know of the leader? But I also think that where are they going is a good one. So it's not a bad one.
Do
And
you know
obviously-
where they're going?
Yeah. Do you know where they're going?
So that could be question number 5. Do you know where they're going?
No. Maybe.
Yeah.
But these might ebb and flow with
Yeah.
the
They might
answers.
change
yeah.
with the answers, but if I have an idea of where I'm going to begin with,
Yeah.
Also, you should probably add, do they have another base on Ural? Because she could know that there's other bases that are like back where they're from.
That's true.
Because if you don't make it very specific, they can give you very cryptic answers and not
Okay.
be very
so
truthful.
do they have another base on
On Iral.
Which is the continent we're on.
Iran? Okay.
Got one of my viewers speaking to me. It's like my priest used to say, the enemy of my enemy is best in an eye of convenience and should be dealt with as soon as time and opportunity presents.
Fair? Yeah.
So that's
Alright.
a long. It doesn't
That's
quite
totally a
have
Rivallon
the.
thing, that is, isn't it?
No, that's a
doesn't
very
quite have the
paladin of
same ring
conquest.
to it.
That's a cleric of war / paladin of conquest thing to say.
Paladin of vengeance as well.
Yeah.
Okay.
Rivallon is a Godzilla. It's a terrifying monster that could kill us all, but it's on our side.
I'm glad he's on our side. Says
We all
everybody
are.
ever.
We all are.
So what are you lot doing?
Okay. So the plan is,
Mhm.
a masterful dungeon master, is that Mog is
Flattery
going
will
to.
get you everywhere.
That's why she does it.
And that's why I'm trying it. Is that Mog's going to try and deceive Liben that she's one of the good guys, and that the guys on the dragons have betrayed Zagul, and she's going to try and track them down and mutilate
Murderize them.
All right.
Mog
That's
is a
the plan.
contingency plan that was not announced to any of them. Ooh,
Yeah.
I like it.
Okay.
Unlike a crazy half-orc assassin.
All right then. So
Right. Is there anything the rest of us can do to help Mog before she goes in? Just other than we got enhanced ability, and then is there
Yeah.
anything anyone else can do?
I'm going to need a scroll.
I'll give her a pat on the back.
You got this. You got this, chap.
do good.
I'll say,
You look too good.
who's the nice voice?
Oh, don't worry, love, I got it.
There you go.
Love. All right then.
I only... Rivallon's a handsome guy. What's the girl to do? Now.
You know what? You have that one. You have that one.
He's like
just
300
gonna-
times your age, dear.
That's true. Yeah.
I
He is
want to point out there's
literally
a there's a
silver fox.
slight echo for everybody but Midge. So I think Midge, I'm still getting some echo through your mic. Just it's very minor, but I can hear it.
Okay. You shouldn't be. So
Just to-
I think it's you.
Is
'cause
it-
nobody's lighting up, so I can't.
What? Yeah?
Test.
Eh? Echo.
Test.
Echo.
Test
Echo.
one.
Echo. Echo.
Cousin, let's go
Echo.
bowling.
It's exactly. Hey, cousin.
Let's go bowling.
All right, I think it's
Echo
gone.
bowling.
It's gone. Then I don't know. I was hearing it a couple of times.
Hey,
with
Nico, it's
some
your
people.
cousin.
that's
Let's go
fair.
bowling.
All right. Anyway,
Hi.
Yeah. So right, I'm
Okay.
gonna cast Enhance Ability on Mog. I will give her. Let me double check what it's called. Eagle Splendor. You have advantage on Charisma checks. So anything
Ooh,
involving
yeah.
Charisma, you have advantage on.
And
Congratulations.
deception is a charisma check.
Yes.
Yeah.
That is right.
Yeah. Okay. So,
So I'm going to take a scroll off Isaac because it's in the bag. Tap.
all right, you take a scroll of Speak with Dead, and
Wish me
you're
good
going
fortune.
up. Okay. So,
Good luck.
Mog, you
To Mog.
walk up the stairs. You're with scroll in hand to the to the lab, Liben's lab. The body's still there. Nothing else has changed since the 10-15 minutes that you left. And what do you do? Are you going up and casting?
I'm going to have a quick look round, sort of calm my nerves a bit because, you know, she needs to be as chilled as possible. And then,
Oh, by the way,
then she's
you
going to
took the-
cast a scroll.
okay. By the way, did you take the knife out when you took the paper, or did you leave the knife?
we
in?
took the eye out. Yeah, the eye knife out. I definitely.
Yeah.
I remember going.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
Just
that
double check.
happened.
All right. He didn't put it back in. All right.
Like Alibaba in the what's it called, where he's in the barrel, and you have to try and stab the barrel with loads of little swords until he pops up. It's like a Brock and Bronco game.
Okay. Don't get that. All right.
Okay.
You cast the spell from the scroll feel a presence from the scroll leap off, and it goes towards the body of the recently deceased Liban, the druid, which you have heard much of, but have only recently seen dead. And a few seconds later, the glow from the scroll ebbs, and the body starts to shift around the knife that still pins it to the wall, or I guess sword or whatever. I think we said short sword. Things start popping as rigor mortis is overcome with the animate muscles, and you can hear freshly dead vertebra scrape. And she looks towards the individual who casts the spell, which is you. Only one eye animate, as the other one has been destroyed. And she is awaiting your questions. She only answers questions. That's speak with dead. They don't have the ability to talk. Yeah. So just looking at you.
Well, first, I want to say the wise one is extremely unhappy with you, so don't expect anything. She told me to come in here because she was worried about you getting all, I must get my revenge now, rather than help these lot out, and then these lot turn around and mess her around as well. So I've got to clean up everyone's mess, and you're going to help me do it. Bloody hell.
Give me a deception check.
I get advantage, don't I, Sesh?
Yeah. Yes.
Yes.
If you have enhanced ability, any charisma. Is it charisma saving throws or charisma checks?
Don't know.
It's charisma
Mikey?
checks.
Charisma checks.
You're muted, Mikey, if you are talking. Just want to point out.
Do it.
Excuse me, I am a dumbass. It is charisma checks.
Okay.
21.
21.
All right.
Well, where have that lot gone anyway?
So I just had to take a picture of that. It's like a reflex breath comes in. So you're asking where have that lot gone?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I do not know. They did not tell me much.
Alright. Have they got another base on Errol? Sorry. Apologies.
No, you're good. You're good.
All right, Governor.
I like it.
It's really cool. I love it.
I love it. They never talked of another. They never told me, at least.
Well, I know you were using tongues on them, so did they say anything about what their future plans might be? Even if they didn't tell you, they might have talked in your person if they didn't think you could understand.
They talked of seeding chaos before the rest came.
That's my job. They're taking my job. I have to protect my franchise.
So that's 3. You got 2 more.
Oh no. This is a. You're mostly done with this circle, but where does the other end go?
A safe place. Far away in case I need it.
That's interesting. Okay, now I've got a decision to make. Because we were assuming that the teleportation circle was for them.
Mm-hmm.
But if it's going to a safe place in case she needed it. Okay. What was the last question? Okay. So they wouldn't have known that. They would have thought they were doing it. Okay. Alright, well, what do you know about their leader? What was his name? What was his name?
Oh, are you out of character? Volred.
Out of character.
Commander Volred.
Because
I forgot I was
Commander
muted again.
Voled.
'Cause I'm a
Voled.
fucking dumbass.
Bowling.
Voled.
Bullred.
So your question was, what do you know? I'm sorry. Ask that one more time.
What do you know about Volred?
Disgust comes across the stiff and dead face. Petulant man. Always demanding more and quicker progress. Never understood. And you look as you look up and you see her, the eye, which was looking kind of off to the side, now focuses directly on you in a knowing glance, and then just light fades and the body goes slack as it is no longer animate.
She knew who you were.
She knew who I was. I go downstairs.
Just wanna-
Tell.
Well, in the chat, you'll just be able to see what I rolled for the
Well,
spirit's
yeah, if people
ability
weren't
to
putting Key and
recognize.
Peel in there as well.
Ooh, that's
You rolled a nat
Oh.
20, you
F.
beep.
That's a big F in
I,
chat.
I took a picture immediately after I rolled it.
You were
just to
like,
make sure.
oh,
Well,
fuck.
when you took a photo, it was either going to be a natural 1 or a natural 20.
Yeah.
And... my God.
She knew who you were.
She knew who I was.
Yep. Also, I realized there's story information on that page, so I took that picture out, so that's going away.
No, it stayed. It stayed. It stayed. Beep.
Shouldn't have said.
Someone already has it open and they've just been looking at it like, oh. So Rochi's got to do some nasty things.
So that was the end. The body is now a body. You got your 5 questions
Okay.
and your 5 answers.
And she knew who you were.
Mog goes downstairs.
At this
Don't
point,
talk
while this
about
is
inf-
going on, because this
Right,
took
don't-
some time.
Yeah.
Well, hold on, before you get down there. While that's happening, a band of 3 of your mercenaries exit the stairwell into the room that you are all occupying. You see Ilrid, Philia, and Willam.
Philia is the female elf, isn't she?
Male elf.
Male elf.
Philia. The female, there is no female elf. There's a female human and dwarf.
Okay.
Yeah, it's an older elf and a younger elf. Is
Yeah.
our elves.
And there's Rivallon.
Ilrid is the commander of the detachment that you have, but they enter into the chamber while Mog is gone. They don't look any worse for wear, so it doesn't look like they encountered traps. But Ilrid sees you, walks up. We're here. Didn't have much trouble finding the place.
It is the
That's
tallest building around.
Exactly.
To make it across the bridge, okay.
Yes. Yes, it was a bit windy. The rest of the group is with the wagons and the horses. I left the sending stone with Thorala. She can, if need be, you can ask her to bring everything up if we see fit.
I don't think there's anyone else here, and I don't think they're coming back, people.
Probably not.
So we may as well bring all the wagons up, let everyone rest
Well,
up.
maybe not up, but definitely inside.
Well,
Yeah.
We found a few spots we could set up. A couple of clear areas.
Oh god. Sesh looks at at the people next to her and says, I can cast sending or tongues. There's not another option there. Unless you guys feel like it's okay to wait for a whole night to ask our friend over there questions.
We're
we
better
can
off.
wait a night.
Having
She-
some problems communicating with her?
She doesn't speak normal Elvish.
Or normal common.
Maybe I can help.
I
Go
mean,
for
feel
it.
free.
All right.
He's a
he goes
bard.
No, he's just an educated elf.
He's an educated gentleman.
He's an educated gentleman. He's been trained in the classics.
Pulls out a monocle and pulls out like a small pocketbook.
Yes, goes over. Kind of hushed tones, just talking between there. That goes on for a while. While that is happening, the two other individuals in the party just kind of mill about, see, Thrala, the other, younger elf, uses his foot to kick over some of the, stone statue that used to be animated, and just kind of looking at it. It's really, really about it until a few minutes later, Mog enters into the room from the stairwell. And you can do the exposition dump.
They all heard it. I'm
Exposition
not
dump.
doing any exposition
Yeah,
dumping.
no, it's fine.
Dum-
Yeah.
Okay.
Um,
All right. All right. I was trying to have some fun. But whatever.
I will say though, she knew who I was.
Oh. Well, I guess we got to take these questions with extra salt.
To be fair though, she told me nothing.
Well, fair. We didn't really get an awful lot of very prudent information out of her.
The only interesting thing was the transportation circle she was building for herself, it seems, rather than the company.
So under the pretenses of building it for them, maybe she was trying to build it for herself in order to get away from this. We've got to remember, before essentially meeting us, Liban had no affiliation with as a ghoul. She might have just been as trapped in this as we are.
Well, as I understand it, she took up with the ghoul due to her being captured and
Her friends
Master
killed.
Ustinia murdering some people.
Well, it wasn't
He
just him.
broke her
No,
staff.
He wasn't
Well,
doing it.
no,
But-
Ustinia broke the staff.
Well, I assume the fact that he killed.
But
a
it
lot
was
of-
weapon. I had to destroy it.
That's fair.
No, I'm not. I'm not.
We're not
blaming you.
arguing with
No.
the logic. We're saying
I
there
do wanna
are
point
other
out,
reasons why she. could be
Ustinia
cursed.
was the one that lanced her.
Yeah, I pointed that out too. Yeah.
Her second that they were both commanding the group, and Ustinia lanced the guy.
through his
Oh,
heart.
yeah.
Essentially.
Yeah, that's what I was
Lost.
trying to point out. Like, I'm like, Justinia murdered her second in command, who could have been more than just that to her, for all we know.
Murdered?
I
call it
Self-defense.
justified.
Active
It was
self-defense.
Okay.
It wasn't even self-defense. We were on a mission. They were robbing shit.
Yeah.
It was.
Active
It was street. It was.
A justified extra legal execution.
It was adventurer justice.
You're getting paid.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Business.
Stop! You violated the law.
Some of your contestants are paid a
Either
fine.
way, her wrath for Estinia is clearly stronger than either the boon she had with Zagul or any work that she wanted to that Zagul had asked her to do for this company.
Man, she was mad.
Man,
Hello,
she was
man.
pissed. She was pissed at you.
I'm quite impressed.
Yeah.
You're like, huh? Respect. Well,
I
at least
do
we
want to
know.
point out because it has been a week. You guys did get the intel because you got really good investigation rolls that she was there to make a large permanent portal in one place from one place to the other on a material plane.
Yeah.
And it seems as though they were doing that because somewhere at the base floor of this tower there was a large magical source that would have powered it.
Oh, we
So
know.
there might be another circle.
I'm just pointing
There
out
might be
you have
another
that
circle.
information. I know it's been a while, so I'm giving you that extra information because
We could also
Yeah.
be on a ley
it's been a
line.
month. It's been a week.
We could also be on like a ley line. That could be a thing, right? You two could probably sense that, and I look between Isaac and Mog.
Can we sense that?
Maybe. I don't know.
I don't even know if ley lines exist in this world. That's never something I thought about. Ley lines would indicate like stronger magical powers in certain other areas, whereas this is more.
Nature of the
Winds of
winds.
Winds of magic is this like?
Yeah.
My goodness.
The
Either
winds
way,
of magic are
Mog-
particularly
It
strong.
definitely isn't as Zeta the Last Witch in terms of
Yeah.
that world.
Yeah.
So-
The winds of magic could be particularly strong here.
I think we should set up camp though. I think we should rest because Isaac hurts right now.
Isaac's like, I'm in pain.
you
And
got a couple of like
Mog's
pressure
got something
bandages
to
on your
do.
puncture wounds.
Mog's got
Ju-
a couple
just
things
be-
to do.
just before we even explore a lot of this place, because remember how many tramps we went through just getting to here.
Oh yeah.
Like,
My people wanted some people dead.
I am not in a place to be going trap hunting right now.
He says while bleeding profusely on the floor.
I'm not bleeding because I've survived all the bleeds.
Oh, that's true, yeah.
But I do
They
have
are
some
they are ragged
gnarly-
wounds. He has some triangular bayonet wounds that can't be
Ooh.
stitched.
Yeah.
that are.
He's like,
Well-
I've seen those before. They suck.
I've been
This
shot
room-
with square bullets.
yeah. Yep, it's a puckle gun.
Oh.
Well, this room
Yes.
is dry and comfortable, so I suggest
Yes, the stone floor is really comfortable.
it's dry.
Ulrich pops up from
It
his
is dry.
speech. I got some things. I figured out she's speaking some Elvish. It's an old. There's a classic that I learned whenever I was a young lad that was written in this. At least parts of it. It seems as though it's a bit different. It's like it's an offshoot. But either way, I caught some of it.
What's the classic about the hero, by any chance?
Named
Well,
Beowulf.
it was about the conqueror. It was about the conqueror
one I
over the over
Can
the
I
mountains.
guess
to the
name,
Elvish
rank, and
lands.
serial number?
Well, I got that initially, but I figured out she's not allowed to say anything else. That's kind of work through that on there, and also somewhat thirsty still.
I just
so she
I get the water out and I just be like, here.
takes it. But yes, I can get some of it. It's difficult, but I could probably suss it out. Give me like another day. I could probably work it out. Also, be very hard to get the wagon up here. Just
Well,
pointing it
yeah,
out.
we can get it down at the bottom of the tower, though, can't we?
Yes.
It's a nice open
I'd
area. down there.
suggest probably make the camp in the center of the courtyard so we have
Yeah.
good sight lines
works.
to every direction.
As long as you don't mind sleeping among lots of corpses.
Well, they've been mostly cleared from what we saw. It was just big stacks and in front of certain areas.
All right,
so,
let's
I
do a sending stone and get the wagons in here then.
They have the sending stone. You have to cast it.
Yeah, I can cast
that.
Sending as a level 4 spell, which is the only
Just in
spell
case
slot
they
I
needed
have
to
left.
contact us. to-
Yeah.
That feels like a waste of a level 4 spell, but yes.
Yeah, I have 3
It's
level
all you
1s.
have left.
I have 3 level 1s, which I can cast Sending. Sending's a level 3 spell. I have no level 3 spell slots. I have 1 level 4, which means I have to cast it as a level 4
You
spell.
guys are tapped.
Yeah, we need to sleep.
We need some
We
sleep.
need to pass the turn already.
It's
Isaac
enter,
needs
bring
a
it
power
in.
nap.
Untap some lands.
Oh god, don't go magic on me now.
Angel
Please.
Man need a power nap.
Right, so you sent you cast
I'll just
sending
cast
this
Sending
Rivallon?
at level 4 and tell the chick, hey, prepare the wagons in the courtyard, set up camp.
Okay.
Bring them to the courtyard. Not prepared. Yeah.
Bring the
Alright,
wagons to the courtyard, set up.
All right. A few seconds later. Right. I'll get that done. We should be 20 minutes. We'll get on the horses, bring them all in.
Tell
That's it?
them that Rivallon will meet them down in the courtyard.
Too late.
late.
It's a one and one. That's all you get.
Okay, Rivallon
can
will
go
go
down
down and
there,
meet
yeah.
them in the courtyard.
Okay. It doesn't take long. Do you exit the same way you got into the tower, or do you go past the level down further? Like, how are you getting out of the tower?
Well, we don't know what's below us, so I'm going to go slowly down and investigate.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll go with Rivallon because
Alright.
needs worse.
Isaac-
I could heal him.
Isaac is like on the floor, basically starfished, like, oh.
Well, Steenia, carry him. You fuck.
No, I'm gonna wait here till we're definitely moving, and then I'll just stay with the prisoner.
But he'll stay here, protect him. He clearly needs.
Thanks,
Protect
buddy.
soft men. Protect soft saucer men.
So, actually, this is good opportunity, Isaac. You think we're actually gonna get any use out of the prisoner?
It would. I think we have a few more questions, especially if Ilred. Is it Ilred?
Illurid, yeah.
Yeah.
Illurid, yeah.
If Ilred here can translate a little better than us.
Okay.
So far been the case.
Damn it.
Senior's obsessed with killing the prisoner.
No, he's
The only
What
person
good
who's
ideas about
flippant.
that?
he's just being pragmatic as long as they
Yeah,
have use
yeah,
for
no.
her. He's not going to touch her. He'll treat her very humanely. The moment they're not going to use for her, unless there's some other strategy. the
And
most
you lot say that
effective
Rivallon's
thing
got a
would be
thing
to
about
kill
killing
her.
people.
No, I think the entire
Ustinia-
party has a thing about killing people.
Hey,
Astinia
right?
comes from a background where the weak are left behind because they are
Yeah, left
a drain
behind,
on
not
resources.
hacked to death.
No, well, maybe Mercy killed. You don't know that.
So,
So
Steenie at the
culturally
back.
desensitive.
Steenie out the back of his head with a shotgun.
So-
Sorry, boy. I'm sorry.
Keep looking at like
keep looking at the rabbits. So, look at the flowers. Look at the
Bangs.
So, Sesh and Rivallon are going past the level you came in on. You came
Yep.
to the tower in, and you're gonna do a little bit of exploring. Okay.
Yeah.
What's
Curly,
the
keep
what are
going
the
with this shit.
what's the rest of the party doing? Are you
You already know.
are you? Oh, I know that, but so what's Ustedia and
Isaac's taking a short rest right now.
okay, so you're just
Yeah.
like you're just getting up against a column and just kind of like
No. Not even that. It's like when someone sunbathes on pavement. You
Got
know
it.
when you're like it's hot
just-
weather and you're waiting for the bus and it hasn't turned up. You're just like,
all right, taking a nap.
Light a
At
cigarette, that
that
always
point.
works if you need a bus.
All right.
Oh, it really does. You need a
And
bus to turn
who's-
up, light a cigarette, and take a drag, and you go, you bastard.
So
just
Ustedia,
lit
what
that.
do you do?
It's like a beacon.
What are you doing with this?
flick it at the bus driver.
The bus driver's literally sitting at the top of the road going, wait for it. I don't care if you're late, wait for it. He's
There
literally
he
right,
goes.
let's roll.
so. I would
Ustedia.
just be guarding
Yeah.
Isaac
Guarding
I'm
Isaac.
the prisoner
Okay.
by
Mhm.
extension.
and the prisoner.
Ulred is going back. He's just talking. He's trying to get some more information out of there. He's gotten into his own personal like satchel, and he's taken out a ration pack, and he's broken off some of that fine ass lambus bread.
God damn.
I don't know.
Don't ever say that ever again.
That fine-ass lamb spread.
When's
That
the
Putting it down there to
lamb
say that
spread.
next time we meet in
Ass.
person. Gonna say that. Gonna
When's the
say
festival
that.
with the spirits? Is it tonight or tomorrow?
Festival of the Spirits. Hold on, because I can check that because I have an online calendar that is also, by the way, linked inside of the chat. You could all see that.
I don't know where to look, honestly.
It should be indexed.
I do. I just can't be bothered.
It should be pinned. Should
Pinned
be.
in our Discord. In our
Yeah,
private-
fantasy calendar. It's like the fifth or it's the second link in the pinned messages of the chat. But tomorrow is the Festival of Spirits, which is the Christmas of this world, because it's
Okay.
yeah. But Sesh and Rivallon, you go further down the stairwells of the tower. And it's mostly the same for the first like 5 minutes, just other floors of this tower, rooms here and there, mostly storage. Looks like maybe one of them was a barracks or like some sort of sleeping quarters, privy here and there. And then you start feeling like you're getting towards the bottom, and the stairwell opens up. And it's no longer a like tube around the stairwell. It is instead now an open chamber, maybe about 70 feet tall, and the entire base of the tower open in terms of like diameter. And you see a interior space with a large pool of very light blue water, maybe ankle deep, but pretty huge, like a pond or some sort of like very, very small lake, like a large pond or a small lake kind of size. The water seems to be totally clean, and it even has a slight shimmer to it, even though there is no natural light coming into this room. As you go further down, you see now in clear, kind of clearer, you see along the walls are painted figures of Dragonborn kneeling in front of Bahamut in various different, like, vignettes, kind of. And you exit on what looks to be about a third of this entire room's contents, which is like a dry landing. There's the doors to enter the tower. They look to be barred with a large oaken, not plank, but a large oaken stop for the door. What are they called? The big logs essentially you put on in between two doors on like and you can't open it from that point. There's a word for it, but I've forgotten.
A bar.
Yeah, it's just a door bar, but it's a giant wood one. It would probably take like 3 or 4 people to lift up because it is so large. And next to this pool, you see the edge of the pool sit simple wooden drinking bowls, maybe about 20 of them, equidistant across. And that's what you find in the bottom floor of the tower.
So Sash is going to walk over to the drinking bowls. Well, the nearest one to her. Kneel down. And while praying to Bahamut, fill up the bowl and take a sip.
Okay, give me a Constitution saving throw.
Oh boy.
You're on your
Never drink the water.
F.
Oh,
6.
Okay.
You drank the mummy juice.
Oh no.
So Rivallon, while you're like standing, I'm guessing like looking around, searching for threats, kind of looking at the walls and kind of this whole scene, and you see Sashko take a bit of water and then
I go and say, I wouldn't do that.
and
Right.
She sips. Then you hear the bowl fall from her grasp. Click, 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 like, hollow wood.
Mhm.
The water splashes. By the way, when it splashes, the light blue shimmer of the water is no longer there. The water that falls out of the bowl. But you see Sesh not fall, but just go slack for a second, and then stiff. And you see a glowing light now from her eyes when you look to her front.
She woke as fuck.
But there is no motion from her. She's just standing like that.
She
or
gone.
Kneeling
Sesh,
like that.
If you want me to kill you and end your pain, say nothing. Got it.
All right. guess this is how Sesh dies. Goodbye.
Sesh, you drink from the water.
Where the fuck am I?
It is incredibly cold when you drink it. Almost as if it is ice chilled from the tallest peaks.
Refreshing.
That's why you're so stiff. You're like, whoa,
Yep.
man.
And
Brain
for a
freeze!
for a few
Oh.
seconds, you feel very at peace. And then when you look forward, you see the scene in front of you getting further, like a pull zoom, getting further away, or like a pull out. You're seeing it get further and further away, but you're not moving until it's impossibly small in the horizon, and then you are in a featureless white plain. A few seconds tick by,
I continue praying.
and then next you open your eyes, you're still in the plane of white, and then almost like the Matrix, like out of the white, you see you are in a plateau of some sort. It is a rocky mountainside. Old pillars and stone constructions are around you. The white plain still stretches out into the horizon. There's no sky, no sun, but it is light. And you are on this side of this mountain.
May I roll a religion to see if I know where I am?
Sure, you may.
Thank you. Where is it? There it is. Oh, that's better. 16.
16. Think you might know where this is. This might be Mount Celeste. Would match. Somewhere on it. Not at its summit, but one of its lower peaks. As you think, you hear in your head a voice. Low, deep. Ah, another seeks the mantle.
Sorry, I'm writing this down because I need to keep notes. Ah.
This is recorded in 3 different perspectives. I just want to point
Yeah.
you out.
I like to be able to read it though. It because I don't want to jump back and forth in recording. Anyway, I wish I knew what that was. It's been a long time since I visited a temple or a church of the Lawbringer. In fact, it's never.
Feel slightly warm. A presence has entered your body and you feel warm. Even though something this high, being this high from the ground, it looks like you would think it would feel cold. But the voice returns in your head. The mantle is given only to those who embody the Lawbringer's most treasured aspects. Only those who drink of the well may request it.
Do you believe that I am worthy of requesting such a thing?
Judgment is ultimately up to the individual. We do not ask others to embody law. We enforce it on ourselves.
It has been too long since I have enjoyed the presence of a fellow individual who feels the Lawbringer's touch. I believe that I can use the mantle to bring law to the lawless, to spread his name the right ways, and to keep life at its fullest for all I involve.
Feel a presence as you utter the last syllable. A primordial response to your body. Something's looking at you from behind.
I very slowly turn around.
You see, in the vast plain that is this plateau, in this stone amphitheater, an ancient platinum dragon.
Oh fuck.
Oh shit! That's
Holy fuck. That's very much how Session's reacting, just oh, and then on her knee, head down, praying.
It's about a 50-50 shot somebody was going to drink from this, and there was a lower chance that it was going to be Sesh. So I'm glad I put this in. So I'm glad I wrote it.
I was going like the second you mentioned like water and drinking, I was like, I'm drinking that. I don't give a shit.
It's good to know for future reference. So, this platinum dragon, you know immediately. This is the Lawbringer. This is Bahamut.
Oh, dang.
she meeting your gold.
I'm eating my gold, man.
This is what
Prepare
happens
to
when
meet
you-
your maker.
Oh fuck.
Literally.
This is what happened when you drink from the well of life.
Fuck.
The face of a dragon is not emotive in the sense that we are used to, or that you are used to. Do you see some pride as the head cranes down to your level? No longer is the voice in your head, but now it is shaking essentially from the weight of the voice around you. You feel it more than you hear it in some ways. And he speaks out. Long has it been since a individual drank from the well and came to me. I feared it would be the last, those many years ago. When it looks at you, some ways past you, you feel, as if it was looking through your physical body to your soul. The mantle is not an item. It is not carried as a necklace or trinket. You wear it in yourself. You bring it with you through your actions. Do you feel you are worthy of that?
She will give herself a second of respite and pause, and then
This is an ancient black dragon or an ancient platinum dragon, by the way.
this
so
is
it's
a singular
huge.
thing. Yeah, there is
The-
no other
yeah.
such thing.
There is no other
Yeah.
platinum
Yeah.
dragon, so
Bahamut
I'm
is
talking about in terms of size.
Yeah.
This is an ancient dragon, so he
this
is
is fucking massive.
humongous.
Yes. So she will very slowly stand up, back straight, looks him dead in the eyes. Almighty
But he's
Lawbringer.
gotten down to her level, so
Almighty Lawbringer. I believe your mantle deserves to be carried by people who will do it justice. And I feel I can do that. I will do that.
looks at you again. This time at you. Eyes narrowed slightly. See his weight shift. Clawed hand come forward. One clawed finger going towards you.
I don't flinch.
It goes up and touches your what's that called? Like
Sternum.
sternum.
Mhm.
Bring my word to my followers and those who need it. Bring the church back to its former glory. And then leans in closer. Lift the shadows that gather. And then light, platinum white light, shines, and a second later, you are back inside of a large chamber. Rivallon's in front of you, doing his
Hello.
If you want me to kill you, don't move.
almost like fluorescent lights, being switched off, like and then the lights go from her eyes, and you're back.
And the first thing she hears me say is, "If you want me to kill you, don't move."
I slap him. Holy. Oh.
Cold
I
water, right?
check myself. Like you see her patting herself down underneath the armor, checking, just seeing if she's actually there. Almost.
You don't
I
feel any
slap her.
different. You felt that. Not as much. Rivallon's not as strong as he thinks he is.
Didn't really feel that.
Scales.
Yeah.
But you pat
Also
down.
wearing a helmet.
You,
Probably didn't
you
help.
feel there. You don't feel any different.
Oh my. I just met Bahamut. I just
met Jesus.
I just saw. I just had a conversation with my God.
Congratulations.
This thing, Rivallon, in front of us. It's a direct link to him. No wonder they didn't want the Palorians taking in this place. They would have destroyed it.
Okay.
He shakes
Okay,
his
I'm
head
meeting
as
the
if
gang
they
now.
wouldn't, but you know she's right.
weighing up what we would have done with it. I don't think we would have destroyed it. We would have used it.
You probably would have pissed in it. Anyway. She's not got a very fond feeling about your church. You're okay. Your church, however. Anyway. I know you don't really get just how immense that is, Rivallon, but
Rivallon's already gone. He's upstairs.
she's just sitting there like, holy shit, and then she realizes Rivallon's gone, and she's like,
Yeah.
okay,
It's like, you're fine. Fine. Don't care about your god. Bye.
bye. She will very slowly stand up, put the ball back after realizing it's on the ground, and then
And
walk
she's
up the
walking
stairs
back
after
upstairs going,
Rivallon.
"Can you not actually take care about anything but killing?"
No, she's not saying anything. She's like lost in her own mind right now. She's like, I have no idea what the fuck just happened.
By the way, Sesh, you now have the benefits of a long rest.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, you've got
That's
all your
cool.
spell slots back.
Does
Oh,
she
yeah,
not
like,
have
when she comes
anything
back, she's
else
like,
other
"I
than
feel
that?
energized."
She just met a god.
She feels energized.
It's a pretty hey, that's a pretty big thing. The mantle will may or may not be a more of a metaphor than an actual boon. But
I mean, as far as she's concerned, she's just gotten Bahamut's like blessing, which is more than enough for her.
Bahamut's thing is also like self-actualization, law, bringing it to yourself. It's not. It doesn't give you a lot. He's
Yeah.
about bringing. He's bring up your own bootstraps.
You know, do it yourself, you fucking lazy bitch.
Yeah, so more of a thing. But you don't feel any different though. Maybe the in terms of physical, as you get up. But as you look over the expanse of the well that it was referred to, you put the bowl back down, and you do see underneath the bowl was a label. After you picked it up, you look down, and now you look back down at it. It does say, "The Well of Life."
If lost, return to the well of life. Bahamut Temple, PO Box.
I
PO
assume
box,
in Draconic.
fucking nowhere.
It is in Draconic, yes.
Grey waste. Right, so she puts it back down and she just sort of nods to herself and then heads back up the stairs towards she's actually gonna go the whole way up the tower. She needs to talk to people who actually give a shit. So yeah, holy shit.
Congratulations.
That's a crazy one. That was really good, Roach, by the way. Thanks.
Oh yeah, no. It was an honor. It was something. Yeah, you could
was
have also
awesome.
bypassed it.
Holy shit. My character got to meet their god, man. It's fucking cool.
That's what happens whenever you go to basically a citadel that was created to protect this well.
Yeah, I mean, we didn't fucking know that.
Exactly.
We know that now, though.
None of you roll high enough whenever you're researching it to know that. So,
Well, we know it now.
yeah.
So I assume the
Rivallon-
well's the source of the magic.
Yeah.
It would look like it. You didn't see any excavation or anything that was done to it yet. They looks like they were, but it was researched, probably. From the notes that you got, they were researching how to utilize that magic, create a permanent portal between two areas on the material plane. But you, Rivallon and Sesh, you go back upstairs. At this point, I'm gonna say, Isaac has received a short rest.
These organs are now able to be internal.
Yeah, well, short rest, so that means you could spend hit dice on that if you would like to, or
Or we
just
could
you
just
gain-
go for a long rest and.
I'm not going to
Yeah.
spend this hit dice, but I will take the effects of a short rest for other things, like my character. Like the ability
Yeah.
to fly again if necessary and shit
Yeah.
like that.
At this point as well, Elred, over to you, pokes at Isaac from his nap.
Yes, I'm up.
I'm going to
Assessing
untie
my
her
eyes.
from the pillar, and we're all gonna head down. At this point, they probably should have gotten into the courtyard,
Got it. Okay.
right? And they start doing that. So Sala is now being led by a rope to her wrist shackles. Her ankle shackles have been undone, so she
Take
can
those
walk
back then.
down the stairs. Back the ankle shackles, and she's being taken. You do, but we'll kind of gloss over some of this. You do, if you look out, you do see that the group has arrived into the main courtyard of the citadel, and they are beginning to set up a small camp in the center of it, where they have good sight lines in every direction. They're setting up the cloth covers. There's no wind to deal with while they're inside of this courtyard because of the way that it's set up. So all that's being done. Also at this point, Rivallon and Sesh, did you go up, or did you go out through the door?
Probably
on the
up.
road?
Besides, I was meeting up with the mercenaries.
Yeah, up and out.
Okay. So you go up as well, and you see them. So Sesh, you go up. You see Isaac and Ustenia getting ready to leave, and then Rivallon, you meet the mercenaries as they're heading through the bridge. You meet them when they're about ready to head out. Tell you, we're gonna head out down and get things ready for the camp. So yeah, what would you? Sesh, there's Isaac and Ustenia.
You two see Sesh walk in. She looks very much more energized than she should after all the spells she's cast. And, like, after the fighting. And there's this... I wouldn't say aura, but there's a presence about her that wasn't there before. But she doesn't say anything yet.
I don't think my passive perception's high enough for that.
Oh, you notice it. It's pretty easy to see. She's not actively hiding the fact that she's walking, like, maybe a bit
She's
taller.
flaunting it.
Oh, yeah. She's walking a bit taller. She's got a smirk on her face. You know,
Maybe it's
there's some
Maybelline.
things after
It's not
happening.
Maybelline.
Oh
It's not
shit! I
Maybelline.
just said that.
It's like she's got this really nice scale polish going, and it's really nice on her scales.
Because you're worth it. Sesh, you look. Didn't she look different, Christina? Something about.
Walk by,
Ah.
just as Rivallon's walking by, met her god.
You're not
Sorry,
there.
you met her god.
He's not there. Rivallon's not there. Remember, he went out.
Oh
to
yeah,
the
no,
rest.
we're still at the top, so.
Yeah,
Yeah, they're still at the top. You went with the mercenaries across the bridge.
yeah. That would have been
Yeah.
so goddamn anticlimactic. But anyway, pretty
It's
funny.
amazing.
though.
She met her god.
That's it. Just leave chilling.
He just made sure to get here first, tell us, and then leave. and as Sesh comes up to the top step, he's there and just goes, anarchy, and runs off.
Anarchy, chaos.
My
Anyway,
brand is
yeah.
intact.
So yeah. Anyway, yeah, you were saying, Isaac.
Something different about you.
Later.
All right then.
You've given
shall
me
we...
the opportunity. You realise this, right?
And like as they walk down the stairs, there's this buzzing, and she's like, "I can't wait." Sorry. So that whole thing in the basement about that magic. Turns out there's like a well of life down there, and it brought me to Mount Celeste, and I kind of met Bahamut like face to face, and had a bit of a conversation, and well, to say that I have found renewed faith in myself is yeah, I think
Understatement.
that's yeah. He
So-
has tasked me with some things, and yeah, I think it's about time I get to work on those things.
Okay. This is
Ostinia's just in the corner, like, that's cool.
What's our
That's
business?
cool.
Let's go to
Ustenia's the only other person in the party who has also met
Their
their
god.
God.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, no,
We're
Isaac
starting,
is
a collect-
an
we're
angel.
starting a collection of profits.
Isaac's been close though. He was close once.
Oh, I haven't been close at all.
You were like given a direct connection by.
He
one of
was
the-
meeting middle management.
Yeah. Like we skipped middle management entirely and went straight to the head honcho.
That's like saying you met the president by going on a tour of the White House.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
You met middle management.
Yeah.
Um,
We skipped middle
no,
management
I-
altogether
I-
and just went to the CEO's office.
Isaac obviously has a completely
Ustinia
different
fished with
view
them.
on it.
Yeah.
I'm glad.
It was an experience, to say the least. Mount Celeste was awe-inspiring, as was Bahamut.
So, Roach,
I
when does Rivallon
Yes.
meet the god of death?
He is it. He is it reincarnated.
anytime he looks in a mirror. Wow.
God damn.
That's dark.
This is where
And
Roach
I
is like,
love
okay,
it."
Isaac, get the fuck out of the party. You're no longer welcome.
But so you say there's the magical essence here is a well of life, or
Yeah, that's what it's called. It seems to be a direct connection for Bahamutian followers to actually. I don't know if all of them get to speak to Bahamut, but it seems like it's a way for maybe the knights here to talk to him. He said it's been several hundred years since someone's used that, so it was nice.
well, they kept the secret guarded then. But how? I'm glad as well then that we cleared out the Dragon Riders and Liban from here.
I'm glad I didn't get a chance to defile it.
Yes. Wow, this is. Why is extraplanial travel to realms where our gods are becoming just a normal thing for us?
I
Us
mean,
three
isn't that sort of what
especially.
you've done every day for like the last whoever knows how many years.
What I do is very different to what you two have done, and that is, that's amazing. Honestly, I
was shocked myself. I saw it there and I thought it was some sort of cleansing pool or a prayer pool or something. Turns out it's a little bit more than that.
I have. Forgive me if this is too soon in your euphoria to ask. But have you
Do
thought
want
about
to use
take?
the pool?
No. I don't think that would go down well.
He sips it. It's like acid.
knowing the history we've
Yeah.
got. But have you thought about bottling some and taking it for future use?
No. I don't think we should do that. It
I
just
was
stay
just-
here where it belongs. He did
Because it
mention.
looked like it energized you a little bit. It might.
I don't know if it would do that every time I drink it, though. And on top of that, I kind of left this plane. Not physically, but definitely spiritually.
Oh, I've been there. We've all been there, actually. Again, this keeps
Not
happening.
Mog is just over here like, I don't experience this. Sorry.
Mog's not
Oh yeah,
there.
Mog's also there, I think, right? 'Cause
No,
Yes.
Mog
Mog's not there.
Yeah.
Mog
Oh.
Mog went to the mercenaries.
Oh, right, yeah.
She didn't go
I
there
think.
either. Carry on.
Oh, she's up reading books, probably.
Yeah, she's up being a nerd.
Nerd.
Nerd. He mentioned a mantle. Not a physical thing or a sort of like his request was for me to spread the word to help guide and rebuild his church and to lift the shadows that gather on this plane. I think we all know what that last one is.
Hmm. Well, good. I'm glad for you. And Isaac puts his hand on on her shoulder and then tottles off to the rest of the mercenaries.
You look a little better. Let me see if I can do something.
I'm
about
fine. No. Don't worry.
that. No. And she just taps him, and
You're just gonna start sewing me up.
no, she just taps him on the
just-
shoulder.
Oh god!
She just taps him on the shoulder. Where is Goons?
Don't worry, this is gonna hurt a lot.
Don't worry, I'm not like one of them doctors who tells you bullshit and says this won't hurt. So you heal that many hit points. Congrats.
You just healed yourself that many hit points.
Yeah, because I didn't aim. it
You
at
can
myself.
implement it. It's 35 HP, which is almost everything that you took.
That's
'cause I think you-
exactly that's exactly what I took.
Oh, I thought it was 40. Ah, well.
She just taps you on
I,
the shoulder.
I took more of healable stuff.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And then you healed after that.
Yeah,
Got
that
it.
was the non-healable.
She just taps you on the shoulder.
Okay. Well,
How-
at least it healed this time. This...
Yeah, I can talk to our friend. It seems like I am very much ready to go again.
I am still not.
She just puts up her fist, like, all right, another 12 rounds,
All
let's
right,
fucking
let's
go.
So, what are we... I think we're all breaking for camp now, so are we all going to take a long rest? Or...
Yes.
Well, I'll say we should take a break.
We
Yeah,
take
but
I'm
10
going
to
to
15
meditate
minutes.
for 4 hours.
I know we're 5 minutes early, but it's a
Yeah,
pretty
no,
good
it's fine.
natural break end. So we'll
Yeah.
break here, and as you all get to the camp and start putting everything out, and then we'll work out what you're gonna do while you're camping, you know, and figure out what you guys want to do afterwards, because you got a lot of distance to cover for a lot of things. So, yeah, just take our midpoint break.
All right, so we will be back in 5 to 10 minutes, depending on how long we take. Go get yourselves refreshments. Use the eau de toilette, the WC, the closet of wetness, and we will be back after
Did
this
you just say
series
perfume
of
at the beginning
messages.
of that, Rich?
Yes, he did. See you soon.
Yeah, yes, go use your perfume, you stank. Quarantine's got everyone smelly. But yeah, we'll be back in a moment. We don't have to restart right away, but
So I
Okay,
can
I'm
keep my
coming
shirt
back
off. Cool.
yeah, just my entire ad section had played through once, and that's a
See, I'm still trying to set one up. How do you do that? Can we
What, with-
talk about it later?
yeah. What as in my little video thing
Yeah,
that I do. Yeah, okay, sure.
because I've got the ad buttons on the live stream here, but they don't seem to do anything at the moment. So I thought I'd ask Midge.
Yeah, sure. I will assist.
Thank you, sir.
The two people that we asked for technical help is Roach and Midge, in that order.
Well, I asked
Why are you
Roach
asking
for
me
his
for
technical
technical help?
expertise, and I asked Midge for his Twitch expertise.
Ah, fair.
I'm not that good at technical stuff. I mean, I'm pretty low on average.
Nor are the
I
rest of
guess.
us.
Yeah, but you're higher than the rest
why
of
we
us.
got
It makes you basically a god.
Yeah. I mean, you did help me pick out all my parts for my PC, so you're a god in my eyes.
That's just you just got to know the market. It's not. That is not like a. Because I don't want to say because I always sound like this because that's the whole reason people don't like. That's why Midge doesn't want to talk to me about KSP all the time. It's not a hard thing to do. It's just it's.
You're not talking about KSP, are you? Because you're lying straight through your teeth right there.
Well, no, I'm saying the actual aspects of it aren't difficult. Like if you wanted to build a computer, is what I'm trying to say, because that's an equivalent is here. It's not hard to find the parts or figure out what parts you need. You just need to know the market. You need to know basic things about what you want, and you can like ignore all the extra numbers. Like you don't need to know the differences between the complex like processor market for Intel. Like all you need to know is the stats, and you can work from the stats and figure out what you need out of there. And that's easy.
The hardest part of like building a computer is deciding AMD or Ryzen. That's basically it. After that, it's pretty easy.
No, the hardest thing about building
Sorry,
a computer
AMD
is
or
making
Intel,
sure that the
not
parts
AMD.
really
Say,
work together.
They're the fucking same thing.
I was gonna say, ain't you right? What?
What?
Yeah,
Sorry.
it's the hardest part is making sure they're all compatible with each other.
Yeah.
But that's easy. But that's easy now. You
It
have
didn't used to
PC
be.
part. It didn't use no. There was a bad like before PC part picker existed. It was a lot
Yeah.
fucking harder to figure that out. And it's still not easy because you need to work out like RAM heights and CPU cooler heights and stuff like that. But even that, if you're
Like, I had
smart
that
about
issue
it,
with- I had that issue with my case. It has like
Yeah.
a top-mounted exhaust fan which got in the way of the VRM heatsinks, so I had to take it out and mount it at the front.
yeah, that's something. Like I can't, like with mine, I can't do like a radiator heater or radiator on for
Cooler.
my cooler for my CPU because I only have like an 80 millimeter like fan thing
Clearance.
Yeah.
on the top, so it's not worth it. But like again, it's a lot easier nowadays
Mhm.
because I'm assuming you're talking about back in the old days, Rival, like before that when you used to have to know all that like by heart,
Yeah.
like all the compatibility stuff. But that's not as big of a deal anymore. Like
It still is a deal because there was at one point we were putting together a PC, weren't we?
Yeah.
And the RAM just wasn't accepting, and it wasn't until we went right down into the fine print of the RAM chips descriptions and everything
Yeah.
that actually said, "Oh, right, it's got the wrong. It needed was it XLR or something on the
Yeah,
end."
it
and
was,
it
that
like,
was a lot of googling.
pain in the arse.
So that
Because we
happens
actually looked at
sometimes.
them on the shelf when we were buying them and went, "Is it that one?"
Yeah, that happens sometimes with certain things, but certain brands. But I've noticed it a lot less lately. Like a lot, they're getting more integrated.
Mm-hmm.
Like
with
I don't
lot
have
of
a
these companies.
single matching component in my computer. I have an MSI motherboard, AMD.
You never did.
CPU.
Almost,
Ah,
yeah.
even back in the day, you never had a matching component.
Yeah, but I never had any
I mean,
issues with
sometimes you did.
You know,
Like,
I
you
literally
can-
plugged everything in and it was
I
good to
always
go. So
Like mine, I have an EVGA power supply and usually a graphics card.
I only have
'Cause-
2 different brands in mind. Other than my cooler, everything is either Asus or Corsair for me.
I think no,
See,
sorry,
I don't
lied.
care much about that. Like the only thing,
As
the
long
only
as
thing
it
I would
works,
care
I don't
about,
care.
the only thing I would care because usually nowadays they also have like third party like RGB programs.
Oh yeah,
Mm.
yeah.
And you would want to integrate those so you have as minimal amount of programs as possible if you wanted to use that. it's still annoying. So I don't know. Like, either way, I'm not too fussed about it anymore. Like, I don't even know what the RAM I have, but it's completely different than my.
I actually do have two matching components. I have Corsair RAM and I have a Corsair power supply.
I like
do
EVGA power
good.
supplies. I think they're.
Also,
I think
do a good modular. That's why.
Yeah, I have the Corsair modular power supply, which is actually quite nice.
Anyway, Utari,
semi-modular
you back?
EVGA.
I think I heard you.
Sorry.
Has anyone got his Twitch stream up? Have a look.
Anybody got his Twitch
He's
up?
not, he's not streaming today.
Is he not
not
streaming?
Oh, he's not.
Never mind.
Oh, that's a waste of time then.
And why doesn't he have his webcam up? Because now he doesn't need to stream.
Son of a bitch.
Yeah.
Shakes faced old man Sky, such on and so forth.
No, because his webcam doesn't work with Discord. Remember?
Oh yeah, it flashes screen, doesn't it? Like mine used to.
Yeah, but his is worse. That's the only.
Yeah.
That's why it worked fine for his stream, but never worked for Discord properly.
I thought he got a new one though.
Yeah, he did.
I don't know.
Yeah,
did
he
he?
did. Yeah,
I think his issue was he couldn't get the camera to work with Discord.
but that was when
and
he
be on
immediately
stream.
started doing Twitch stuff. So even though we
No,
knew it
that was
worked,
always the same. No,
Yeah.
that was the.
well, either way, we knew it worked because he got a new one. I'm almost certain of that.
I don't think he ever did.
Oh.
Beat the shit out of him, find out. I thought
Oh,
it
got
was
New
like
York
stock.
loads of.
New York Stock Exchange is closing its trading floor starting Monday.
Really? Fuck. I should buy up all that AMD stock I wanted to buy.
No, he's hosting me.
Yeah.
Oh, he is.
I was like because I wasn't talking and all that. I was like mixing music tracks for underscoring that whole bit with Bahamut and stuff.
Oh.
I was like just changing from all the different rooms and things.
You should totally put a riff from Dragon Force or something in there, like Heart of the Dragon or something like that, because that'd be fucking hilarious.
Through fire and flames every time.
No, you see, the reason that I say Heart of the Dragon is because it's more appropriate, basically. But
Operation Ground and Pound.
oh, that's a good one. That's a good one.
Just
Have you
reminds me
listened
of
to
Power
either-
Rangers.
Have you listened to their new one, The Highway to Oblivion? It's so neopunk, it's hilarious.
Oh, really?
It's great.
You know, I'm surprised video game companies aren't capitalizing on the current situation, which I'm not going to name.
Mouse, if nothing else.
But I'm surprised they're not capitalizing on the situation by releasing like games. At this point.
They are.
Doom is out Friday. Which
I know
is
Doom
going
is. I
to
know that one's gonna be
Animal
good,
Crossing.
but
game.
I know
Animal
Animal
Crossing
Crossing
is
is.
like-
Animal Crossing.
Everyone is like Animal
That's-
Crossing.
That's kind of the perfect. That was the perfect time for it to come out as well.
Animal Crossing and Doom at the same time because of irony.
I was more talking about Cyberpunk. Like I would love like even if it was like
I don't
an
even think it's
alpha
ready.
or something.
I don't even think
I
it's
know.
ready.
I was saying even if they released
Well,
an
no,
alpha,
it was because they pushed it back already. It's
Yeah.
April.
I mean, it's the same with the. There's actually been
probably
a post on
longer now that they
Cyberpunk.
can't go in.
Yeah.
I don't know.
There's
That's one of those industries you could probably work from home at.
Yeah, I do think though as well that the.
Do you not think a lot of those guys have a decent fucking computer at home?
They do,
Maybe.
but it's about secure data
Proprietary
transfer.
technology, mate. They've got all the
Yeah.
proprietary bits and pieces. They're not going to let that off site.
Yeah.
I don't know. If it's
There's
their bottom line though, I think CD
Then
Projekt
they still
Red.
won't
One,
let it off site.
I
They
think
still-
CD Projekt Red as well is it's probably one of those companies. I would expect them to be pretty
No,
cool with.
I
with
do
working
not
from
think they
home.
will because
I
they've got to
don't-
protect
I
their
don't-
market
I
share.
don't know.
I think it'd
Yeah.
be a case of if they could make sure it was secure, they would, but it's not.
Or you
Because
you
they can-
remote
No,
into your system at work. That could also be another.
You could do
another
that, yeah.
thing.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
not always secure.
But someone
fairly
would some
secure,
someone
yeah.
would there's not that's not that yeah that's really not great in security and someone would have to be
At
on
this-
site to make
At
sure
this
it's
point, though, you got to think like it's at like they're releasing in April, so it's probably just bug testing at this point.
The main problem is
Because they don't do the
It's
reason they
not
pushed
this-
it back is because they didn't want to do crunch. So like
Yeah.
it's probably just bug testing at this point. They're probably close to to a gold master sometime later on this month.
Mm-hmm.
I would expect. So you're probably talking about just the final bits of it. Maybe even like you're talking about like
Spit
I don't-
polish.
Yeah, so I would think that is something you probably could do at home. It depends. It's they haven't announced it'll be because I would think CD Projekt Red would
Final
be one of those
Fantasy-
companies that
the
would
fi-
announce it if it was
The
going
Final
to delay.
Fantasy VII remake has, their Twitter account have announced that on Friday they're going to make a decision on if they're actually going to push it back again or not because of this current situation.
Yeah.
They made a slip there.
We'll find out. I would like I don't want them to be endangering themselves to get the game out,
Yeah.
even though I really fucking want that game.
You're like, I really want it. But
I
please don't
built
hurt-
this computer for that game. But I don't know. I think they would be one of the more forthwith if they were going to delay it because of that. It would probably be one. They'd probably be one of the first.
They'd probably be like, hey,
Or is it
thanks for the
chance?
shit.
And I haven't heard any word of it, so I'm thinking it's probably close to being finished, and they're probably just doing spit and polish through at-home work, like work from home.
yeah.
Because if it was earlier on and they were still doing things within engine and like working on the nuts and bolts of it, I would agree with you. Probably wouldn't be able to do that at home, but I don't know.
Atari, sorry.
Hey.
Oh, there's Atari's back. There we go.
Right.
She's here.
That's okay.
It's okay. Hope header's okay.
Let's let's continue.
With the spice.
So, Mog, you spend a few hours doing what you were doing, without any too much trouble with that. The rest of you, you all go to the camp that has been set up in the courtyard. The wagons are kind of in their like position where they're like a plus sign essentially with an empty space in the middle of both of them to provide some cover as you're normally how you've been setting them up. But it's a little bit more open than it has been previously. There's a couple of like canvas over like awnings essentially been opened up, and it's covering things. People are not underneath the wagons as you've had to been for the last couple of weeks. Bit more open. People are enjoying themselves. It is the night before the Festival of Spirits, which so people are enjoying themselves a bit more. The last of the alcohol that exists within the caravan is being passed around. People are enjoying themselves. A couple two big fires have been set up so that it's people feel safer and a bit more open, or with all the giant stone walls around them protecting them.
There must be a big old pantry or canteen or cooking area somewhere in those halls. Maybe they've got some extra alcohol and stuff.
Extra aged, in fact.
Extra age, 300 years.
The wine cellar.
Yeah. Some good fucking wine,
Yeah,
man.
Maybe some great.
Isaac's
fucking
just like,
vinegar.
Are you wanting to spend like an hour or two looking through and finding that kind of stuff, or are you?
Yeah, why not?
Okay, give me an investigation check.
Sure thing. It's my
sure
first.
thing, homeboy.
That's a 10.
I didn't jinx you this time, okay? Fuck off.
So, Isaac, you spend about an hour kicking around, looking around the complex, and you know where people would have stayed, dormitories, and nearby there should be some like cantina or a place where they would have eaten and prepared food, and you do find that. It does not look like this order was one that made ale or other drinks. May have something to do with the giant ass desert around them, making it difficult to grow things.
We grew shit in the oh wait, no, that's a magical temple. No, never mind.
Yeah.
You're like, small difference here.
So you don't really find anything. You do find where they stored food, and there is food still stored there, though it is about a couple hundred years old. So it's more.
It
Dust.
talks back to you when
It's
you
more
look at it.
It's more the vague remnants of what used to be food.
I need you to roll initiative because the food monster is
The mole
Yeah, they-
monster is coming back to life.
There's a small colony that used to be bred just in there, and you come in and they're just
Attack of
going
the
towards
mushroom red people.
What you're basically saying is it's out of dogma. It's a shit demon.
It's The Last of Us. There's just a small mushroom in the corner, like, ah. Get that shit out
But-
of here.
You don't find any alcohol in the area. Just a large cantina that probably could have seated like maybe 100
cheese
people.
golem wants to hug you. Sorry, my chat just said the cheese golem wants to hug you.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
Isaac does
Well,
like
you-
his cheese.
All you find is the big cantina. They probably could have set like 150 people at max capacity, but that's about it.
So,
And you
There's a
return
canteen.
empty-handed.
Is there a band in the corner going?
But you return
No, the
empty-handed.
band have been massacred in the siege. There's one guy that's just been impaled in his own trumpet.
There's one guy who's got a violin, but someone's taken like the violin string and wrapped it around his throat and choked him out like a rock.
That's
dark.
that's
A little bit.
So you return empty-handed, but
Flute up his
everybody's
nostrils.
going about their night, enjoying themselves. There are no gifts necessarily to give people or each other, so that isn't
Well,
occurring.
Mog's gonna go and sit next to Sesh.
I crack out the bottle of rum that I have and I offer it around, and then I'll be sitting with it like with just a glass of it, just sort of pondering things. She's like aerating it, which is something she doesn't usually do. sipping it.
Aerating rum.
Yeah, I don't know. She
Yeah,
doesn't
she
drink like she's
actually
not
don't do
fancy.
that.
Okay, she's not posh like you two. All right, she doesn't understand that you don't aerate rum. She's just like, Ugh. Fuck. Why does Isaac do that?
Are you well, Sesh? You look shiny, if that's the correct term.
The silver dragonborn turns her head.
Rivallon walks by. Met a god.
Hey, you had to get one. I'll let you have one. You can have
We
one.
need to
Looks
get
at
right-
Rivallon,
Rivallon.
looks at Sesh, goes, truly?
Yeah, it was
Well.
really boring.
Well, for him it
we need
was.
to get Rivallon on a sending stone, and we can call it the Stone of Spoilers.
I'd like to commission a stone of spoilers. Wait, what? Sorry. Anyway. It sends random things to random people spoiling them about TV shows. Anyway.
Anyway, Sesh,
Yeah, I sort of drank some water from this. Remember when you mentioned about the this whole thing about there being an arcane pool, like giant, like massive source of magical energy, sort of at the base of the tower? Well, it turns out it's like it's called the Well of Life, and sips. It turns out. Oh, hang on. Sorry, I can't drink. I'm stupid. Anyway, nobody saw that.
No, you've only
We
done
all
it
saw
like
it.
3
The whole
times so
recording
far.
did.
It's fine.
The whole recording did. It's fine. Anyway, yeah, and well, I sort of drank it without much thought because it seemed sort of important, and there was lots of like murals of dragonborns praying before Bahamut, and when I saw it, I thought, okay, I should drink that. I pray to Bahamut. He's the lawbringer. He's my guiding light in all of this, and well, it sort of brought me to a plane called Mount Celeste. You probably know what that is.
I've heard of the history.
And well, he sort of asked me if I could carry his mantle. And I said I would. I would be proud to do so, and I would do it with honor, and I would guide guide his people, I guess, guide the people who follow him back to the light and help lift the shadows that gather on this plane. And it was quite awe-inspiring, and it's sort of still setting in. if I'm honest.
That truly sounds wonderful. And you'll notice that Mog's got like paint
poke out.
on her face and some on her hands. I wanted to thank you for earlier because I my armor did fail and you saved my
Looks
life,
at Roach.
and it's not the first time. So I went around this place and I tried to capture it, and she gives Sesh sort of a few paintings of all the murals that are sort of in here. I hope you like them.
She's gonna look over them.
Critiquing.
They're not awful.
She just looks over them. Like, she looks through the first few. You see her pause on one. Goes to the next one. She like folds them all up, nice and neatly, and rolls them up. Thank you, Mog. It's quite thoughtful.
You
I do
saved
like
my life again for about the 5th time. So thank you.
It's sort of my job. But you are very welcome.
As are you. Right, where's that rum?
Here, and she'll give her a drink.
I make it.
It's not great.
It's
not
dark
bad.
spiced rum. It's quite nice. Sashi's into her dark rum. She likes it. You know,
It's not great. It's not bad.
it's
Rum.
okay. It's good.
Yeah.
Bit sugary if you're into sugary drinks.
So,
Well, red is, so Mog probably is.
Cool.
so we'll go through your night. The celebration, as it were, the little what little celebration there is, it kind of ebbs towards the later part of the night. People start going to bed. The last of the alcohol that they had has now been used. People enjoying themselves. There's the two halflings twins play a little ditty with some spoons and a violin that they have with them. Have a little folk songy thing they were doing here and there, just to enjoy, but everything kind of ebbs away, and you all go to get your... Well, also, you do see Elred is conversing with Sala through most of the night, or at least looking to try to. Also, at one point, Sala has offered a drink of whatever it is the mercenaries had with them, of which she does take a swig. Yep. And then immediately give it back.
Like,
Yeah.
She's strong.
But that goes on through the night. You all go through your normal watch hours and awake at the other end of the night. I'm just going to make sure I want to make sure I've gotten rid of these, and I will give you a long rest. So you all have your spells reset, and your health also come back. There we go. There we go. Initiative. No. Rest. Long rest.
yeah,
you
initiative.
go.
Everyone gets jumped in the middle of the night by the mercenaries.
Yeah.
Oh no!
You all wake up the next morning, rested. In some cases, refreshed. No longer feeling no longer feeling the wear that had occurred throughout the day yesterday. Given the fact that you entered into it was night by that point. By the way, whenever you were setting everything up because of the time, because you did take a break and there was a couple of things like that. But it is now morning. Everybody's getting woken up, and not sure necessarily what to do. Nobody's breaking down camp. They're waiting on your orders on what to do. So
I think we should gather around and discuss.
Yeah.
Rivallon suggesting conversation? It's
Yeah,
time
no,
to
something to shoot.
plan.
So, I can cast tongues on Salah, so she can understand all of us, and all of us can understand her.
And
If
I
she
can
lets
give
me
her the
cast a spell
choice
on her.
between a quick death and a slow one.
That's also possible, yes. I'm sure she'd take quick. 'cause
Ustinia is also quite good at that.
yeah, that axe of his works wonders.
That's better at a quick death, though. I'm really good at slow.
Well, I think we should try and get some actual information out of her, and then see how it goes from there.
Who's the best at... I'm... Master Isaac, I know you're a Inquisitor, but I'm quite good at asking questions too, so...
I mean, if
Good
we could all
Inquisitor, bad
talk, we could
Inquisitor?
all talk.
Good Inquisitor, bad Inquisitor.
Good Inquisitor, bad Inquisitor.
Good Inquisitor, bad Warlock.
Good
Very bad
Oh,
Warlock.
that's an interesting.
Dynamic, isn't it?
I'm not. Well, I'm naturally persuasive. My skill set more lies in telling if people are lying or not. Even then, I think Sesh can trump me.
Well,
It's
I
all
was
the years
thinking
dealing with thieves
Sesh
in the
just-
market.
I was thinking the Lady Sesh just sort of watches and sees whether the truth is being told.
Okay, I can be good cop if you want to be bad cop.
I have no issue. with
Rivallon
it.
will be intimidating cop, and Ustinia will be also intimidating cop.
But I think yeah, so set.
Executioner.
He has the axe
Judge,
out,
jury,
sharpening it,
executioner. There we go. That's a good way of doing it.
and I'm just over here like, I'm just along for the ride, I guess.
Rivallon is a very, very angry court stenographer. Okay, yeah. Do cast tongues on us though. Let's have a conversation.
I can cast it on her, and we can all understand her, and she can understand us. Make it easy on everybody, assuming she lets me cast it on her.
I
That's
don't
how it
think
says
this
in the
was-
spell here.
this-
I'll read it for you verbatim. This spell grants the creature you touch the ability to understand any spoken language it hears. Moreover, when the target speaks, any creature that knows at least one language and can hear the target understands what it says. So if I cast it on her, she can understand what we say, and we can understand what she says.
Doesn't say there's a saving throw or anything, so I
Nope.
think it's just a cat. I think you just cast it.
There has to be a willing creature.
Does it say willing creature?
Grants the creature you touch. Doesn't say
Oh.
anything about being willing.
That doesn't say willing.
Oh, fair.
I
But
think
she
it's
can be
'cause it's
like,
not-
no, please, don't touch me, big dragonborn lady.
Oh,
Bad touch,
Second
bad
wife,
touch.
got something to deal with.
Bad touch. Ah.
All right.
Red's still here though.
I'm still here.
All
Alright.
right.
Quarantine's breached.
Breach, breach, breach.
Yeah, that's fair. Okay, let's try and do
I
that
will
then.
keep, is it Elrond, the leader of the mercenaries around? Yeah, I'll just say to him, look, we're going to talk to her. You stick around. She
Well, we
seems
could
to...
ask him if he's learnt anything, because if he was talking to her at night as well, he might know something already.
Have you managed to get any information out of a friend over there?
Yes, a bit. Idle conversation. She opened up after the first half hour. Good information. Didn't know about the Festival of Spirits. Wondering why everybody was having a good time. So that was odd. Doesn't like whiskey. That was something we found out.
Well, she's got very poor taste then.
Let's see here. Didn't open up a lot about herself, where she's from. Says across the sea. I mean, a lot of places.
We think it's Orland.
Yes, we think Orland.
All right. Says she had a family. She has a family. Didn't go into much detail about them. But did mention a younger sister. About it. It's about all I could really get in that time. Just kind of idle conversation, trading tidbits. Very.
All right. You should stick around with us then. I'm gonna cast something on her so she can understand what
I was gonna get breakfast, but okay.
Get breakfast first.
Goes and gets breakfast. Brings a second tray, plate thingy.
That she already has one in her hand. Like, all right then. Guess she's getting 2 breakfasts.
Wouldn't hurt. Or
No,
well,
probably not.
maybe it could.
He's like,
Where
bit old.
you're like, oh, how long? How many?
Two-
how
like
many
2
weeks
months
are you-
deep into this.
You're 2 months into this. Good stuff's gone.
Yeah.
this is like chicken feet territory you're in right now.
It's not the worst thing. You definitely eat worse. Anyway,
I have eaten worse.
we won't go there. We'll wait till after the cameras and microphones are up. Anyway,
And
ain't
Rival
shit.
stopped eating yogurt.
Blood
Is
red
that what you had to
yogurt.
go deal with? Is that what you had to go deal with? You had to get
I'm
yogurt.
hungry.
alright?
he's hungry.
Could I just sit
Look,
here and
look,
moan about being
Roach.
hungry? I could go and deal something about it. What do you want me to do?
Roach, we don't need Rival being hangry. All right.
So you
Right.
So you cast.
I will
tongues.
walk over to her and just tap her on the shoulder. and
She
cast
is
tongues.
basically in a spare, like it's a little area next to a wagon wheel that has a bedroll on it. She
Mhm.
is. Her hands are bound by the shackles, and those shackles are tied to about like a 8-foot rope to the wagon
Mhm.
wheel. She looks kind of scruffy. She's slept in her uniform, and you go over to her.
I leave
do
the
you
food, the tray of food down, and some water, and then I tap her on the shoulder and cast tongues.
Guess she wouldn't notice. It doesn't say anything about a save, so you just. Tap
I
her
mean, she
shoulder.
could notice. It is verbal and semantic.
Oh, it
Sorry,
is.
it's verbal and material. I have a
okay.
clay ziggurat in my hand. I had to pull out
Ah,
like
so-
this little clay ziggurat.
So you're just going up to her like,
No, I have to. I hold it in my hand and I just tap her and I just say something and then it works essentially. Yep.
Jeez. Takes a drink. Nods to you. Thank you.
You're welcome.
I think you're hot.
That is the first time I've ever heard Rivallon be sexually interested. Something new every day.
She can kick ass. Of course I think she's hot.
We haven't seen proof of that.
Do you mean her commanding officer?
Yeah, do you mean Volrend? Volrend's
To be
the one
fair,
who nearly murdered
she does ride a dragon, so that's
Does
the
ride a
thing.
dragon.
And she's
allowed.
like a trusted officer, so you gotta think that maybe she could actually handle her own in combat.
Maybe.
And how do you know that Rivallon wasn't just commenting on the fact that she may be warm?
No, she's
Yeah.
actually
She's in
smoking
the
hot.
desert.
Yeah, she is in
She's
the desert. It is
actually
quite hot
like
here.
a fox.
Anyway, continue.
It's actually quite attractive, you see.
You should be able to understand us now.
Yeah,
we
which
can
is why I
understand
said you're smoking hot.
Ignore
you
him,
stop?
he's a bit of a weirdo.
Could I not understand him?
We can work on that. I'm the only one here. Well, no. I think I'm the only one here who can cast this particular spell. So,
Bite me.
My name is
Ow.
Isaac.
Here I am
This is
trying
sick.
to develop my character, and you're just all shooting me down.
No,
And
that's
then
them in
the-
character shooting you down as
Yeah.
characters.
And then
That's all of them being like, "Wow, that's creepy, Rivallon."
and then the
as
scary,
players, we're glad.
Yeah.
and then
As
the
players, you
scarier
go get it.
members. Oh my god. And then the
Sorry.
scarier members of our group include Rivallon, who you may have met, Mog,
Scary.
and Ustinia.
I
See you there with
misunderstood.
the axe.
Now-
Hello?
May I?
We,
Isaac?
You're supposed
Sure.
to be the bad cop.
I'm going to be the bad cop.
No, you're
She's
being
eating
all
into the-
polite and shit. Bad cops are not
Biting
polite.
into the bacon-soaked, like bacon grease-soaked hardtack.
I've given her like a nice piece of cheese. Like that's one thing I did add to the plate.
now you are going to help us, or well, it goes out of my hands. What happens? You're going to help us as much as we can, and this might end amicably.
Sorry, that was not allowed.
Make a intimidation check.
Oh boy.
That's
Ah.
an 18.
Nice.
Just gonna
This is without proficiency. I get a +4 to that, so that's
Nice. Not bad.
Oh, no, that was you rolled a 14 plus 4.
yeah. That's what I'm saying.
+4 is from his charisma modifier.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Purely. It would have been a +7 if he was proficient in that.
Which would have been ooh.
+6. I'm proficient. It's +6.
No, it'll be
Oh.
plus. It'll be a +7 for me because I'm 4 + 3.
Anyway.
I'm not sure how I could help you.
Well, we're starting with the conversation. First of all, I understand you're not from around here.
I want it to
You're-
be in canon that Rivallon is actually got a spoon and he's just like
Yeah,
scraping
yeah,
up
yeah.
like whatever's left inside of a can or something like that, like to the side of this
Definitely,
this conversation. I want that to be real. I want
Yes,
it
it is.
to be
100%.
real.
That's 1,000%.
Your commanding officer, he said, he referred to us as mainlanders. I take it you're from. I'm gonna unroll my known world map. I take it you're from the place we call Orland down here.
From that points to the blob of land
Yeah.
in the south. You think we're from there?
I surmise, yes. You don't know.
She just shrugs her shoulders. Sip of water.
Insight check.
Sesh is doing
I would-
that.
Yeah.
Fuck. Got an 8.
She seems on the level.
21. She's not on the level.
And Sesh, you went inside as well. You got a +8 to that.
I do.
Your modifier is better than Isaac's roll, or the equivalent to Isaac's roll.
Sorry.
Yeah.
I apologize. I apologize, but fuck you.
Don't apologize. Sesh, you think she's
Full of shit.
Lying through her teeth.
deflecting?
I look to Sesh.
Sesh like taps her shield.
Is that a tell?
Yeah, no, no.
It deflects things.
Deflecting.
That makes sense.
Okay,
No.
okay.
You see what I'm doing here, Roach?
Yeah, Isaac
Son of a
understood that. Isaac understood that.
Yeah, yeah. I'd be worthless in a situation that required
Tact.
required.
Tact.
Yeah, yeah.
Tact tells or like anything that isn't verbal.
Roach, I want to play you at poker.
Yeah.
I'm actually okay at poker. I am
Poker's
okay
pretty
at poker.
Poker's
I'm
fun,
good at
though.
poker. Then we need to do that one.
You need to have this conversation with me, otherwise it's going to be far less pretty. That there's people standing right behind me that, frankly, don't want us even to be having this conversation.
Sparks of electricity come from Mog's hands.
Ew.
Rivallon drops the can he's finished and just licks his spoon clean.
They prefer less genuine methods, but you seem like a sensible lady.
Ma'am, that is a cantrip. I do know magic, so that's not that intimidating. But what is my recourse? You can't return me. I can't go
That's my
free.
point.
I am your prisoner. Forever?
So she has no reason to give us anything because she knows that we're going to have to kill her.
And given the fact I understood that, so that yes.
Which is
Well,
what
we
I've been
know that-
saying since the beginning.
We know that
It
your
was-
people traded.
The
in
tone
empowerment.
was easy to understand.
We know that your people traded empowerment. Any chance they could still be there?
I don't know where they are.
Well, we saw your leader fuck off towards the kingdoms to the
North.
north.
Well, no, to the
Commander,
to the
Northwest.
successor kingdoms.
this is like the northwest kind of
Yeah,
area.
northwest.
Yeah.
The commander has his own prerogatives. It is not my question.
Wow, you guys really are indoctrinated.
Loyal is another way of putting it.
There's a line, I guess, but fair.
Indoctrination isn't by choice, loyalty is. So which is it? Loyalty or indoctrination?
You're asking whether or not I am here on my own volition.
Yeah.
I am here for a reason that I believe.
Fine.
So it's
Loyalty
loyalty.
then.
What do you believe in?
I'm not at liberty to divulge that to you. Another drink of water.
Can I roll an insight check to see if to gain some insight as to why maybe she can't divulge that? Like if she has any kind of tells.
You can try.
Sure, I'll try.
Sure, go right ahead.
Eh, she's not so good.
With the 3, you still rolled better than Isaac's 3. So
Yeah, she's not so good.
Well, yeah, they got to be a modifier, of course. With the 3, she's got to roll better than
It's
my
just
3.
great. It's just great. The Inquisitor can't tell when somebody's lying as well. That's great.
Mm. It's not the
First,
it's not,
you are
it's
about
not,
ready to you're about ready to bite back at that, but you're like this.
It's not the Inquisitor
kind of
come.
true.
It's because the Dragonborn is OP.
Hey, she was also a town guard, so she has reasons to understand how people lie.
You, Sesh, it's very hard to read her. She was somewhat open, but then when you started asking questions, she caged up. Definitely feel that she has been told to not give you people, or if they information. Told not to give information is the way. She is resisting because of that. You find an apprehension that she might not want to die, but that's
There's
what
sort
you
of like a line there somewhere.
yeah.
May I speak to you all away from Salah for a second, please?
I just have one question
I
for you, Sam.
prefer lieutenant. I earned the rank.
We don't know what that means.
Then there's no problem with calling her it.
To you,
Okay,
by the way,
Lieutenant.
since it's tongues and it's the way that Mog is also the way
Yeah,
that Mog.
we
It
do
would probably you'd understand what lieutenant in a way. Because it's hard to say with tongues
When-
and with Mog's ability. I'm assuming it translates it to the nearest applicable word, so it'd be like senior trooper or senior soldier or something like that, or an equivalent. But
Veteran.
She's a rank. She's a rank, a higher, like not
Whether or not
super
it
high
means
rank, but
anything
she's
to us,
middle.
it means something to her, and we're trying to buy goodwill here.
I'll refer to it.
So, Lieutenant, when your company get back home, that may be, What will they tell your sister?
That I was lost doing something important.
And how would your sister feel? I don't have any siblings.
Hopefully proud.
Hopefully.
It's like a little grating.
I'd say resentful.
I'd say stop drinking on my YouTube channel, please.
So she's still going on that run.
She's still going. Why do you think I roll a con
I
save?
met my god last night.
Why do you think I roll a con save, man?
No, I will walk away and talk to Margaret because Margaret requested to speak to us.
After saying that, I'll play with guys again as well. Give her something to think on.
Goes back to eating her 2 breakfasts.
Food.
The way I see it, there is something we can offer her.
Freedom.
That's
Freedom's worthless if
difficult
she
with
can't get
Rivallon,
home.
but I do understand.
We let her go.
What with the ration pack and provisions?
Yes.
How's she gonna get home though? Freedom means nothing if she can't.
With
She's a
ration
dragon
pack and
rider.
provisions, and she's a dragon rider.
There must be a way for her to contact her dragon.
All we need to offer her and follow through is she answers our questions, she goes free. She doesn't, she dies. And Ustenia gets the chance to kill someone again.
Ustenia's still sharpening his axe this entire time.
Yeah, what is
simple
Ustenia
fact
doing
is,
under all this?
She has
You just
no
being intimidating?
reason to help
Yeah.
us right now.
Okay.
I agreed.
It's sound. My suggestion was going to be, we give her the rights of her people on death if she cooperates. I don't know whether that would mean anything to her though.
No, you give her to that if she doesn't. You're showing respect to an enemy then. And as someone who is an officer of some description in her military, she would know that.
That's fair.
Therefore,
I see
you're
no
showing respect for her position, regardless of whether or not she helps us.
I see no reason to not deny her that.
If she helps us, she goes free. If she doesn't, we give her the rights due to her culture and...
She gets a fair burial.
Exactly. We don't just dump her body in a ditch somewhere.
And that
I don't
would
think
give us the
anybody would.
opportunity to learn something of her culture, which may be able to help us later.
There you go.
Okay, I'll put that to her.
I think someone else should put it to her.
Sure. Okay.
Ustenia.
Or Ured, he's gained something. He's got a connection with her more
Good
than
point.
we have.
Yeah. But he's obviously in our employ.
True.
Okay, I'll do it then.
By all means.
Okay, so, Rivallon, you walk up. By the way, Sesh would notice this because her passive perception is
It's ridiculous.
You notice midway through she's eating and she's watching you all talk. You like look over and you just kind of keep looking over her every so often, or you're like facing her with the group. But you see her after like 30, 40 seconds and kind of thinking and then looking back, focuses on Rivallon's armor and
Uh-oh.
eating as she's looking at that, and her face gets markedly bit more somber.
I look at Rivallon and say, she just noticed your armor is made of dragon hide.
Okay, I'll make a point of speaking about it when I get down there then.
But she doesn't look angry.
No, she looks sad, doesn't she?
Somber.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll deal with it.
remember we found a saddle on. Here, take this. I'm going to give you the strange symbol.
Yep. Got it.
Right.
Okay, I wander up to her, stop about 6 feet away from her, and crouch down. Not imposing.
Okay. You gotta get on that level.
Yeah.
Much like Balan would do with me.
Connect. Yeah.
Okay.
Then connect. Where
I
did you
noticed
get
that
that?
you've noticed my armor.
Where did you get that?
Step Kingdoms. There was an unrided dragon attacking the local tribe, and we were hired to find out what was attacking their horses. I'm sorry to say, we killed the dragon.
Just a pretty good amount of sadness across her face. She doesn't tries hiding it, but just kind of steady, as if somebody's
Yeah.
like as if a rider's horse had been killed, and they were going through that. Did was it quick?
Yes. And it hurt us very badly.
I'm trying to think. Was it actually quick? Because
It
was pretty
it
quick.
was-
I think it was less
it
than
was
30
pretty
seconds.
quick fight.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think it was less than 30 seconds. Might have been 30
It
seconds.
really wasn't a very long fight at all, but it was a very painful fight for us. It hurt us very badly.
Little smile across the face.
I understand why you ride them.
I haven't for a few weeks, few months actually.
That was hers. It was hers.
I
You guys got fucking lucky banishing this goddamn elf.
It wasn't lucky. It was all skill.
Results.
Accidental skill.
because of that battle and how hard the fight was, I didn't want to let the scales go to waste just rotting on the side of a forest. So I had an armor fashioned out of them. It's extremely effective at keeping me hidden, allowing me to strike in the shadows.
Yes, it is.
Now, from your look, I can guess the dragon belonged to you.
Her name was Albas.
Well, we found this with Albas and handed the symbol that we got off the saddle.
So you like hold it up because you're still 6 feet away. So
Yeah.
you, like hold it up. Yes.
If you
It,
would like it, I'll give it to you.
It was. It was not mine. I was holding it for a friend. Yes. If you are offering, I'd like to keep it safe.
Okay, I get up, wander across, hand it to her.
She holds it for a second, and then kind of. She doesn't have pockets.
No,
This ways she kind of cradles it in the hand, like arm kind of thing, to put it back on it. Thank you.
I'm giving you that so you understand my offer now. Help us by answering our questions, and you will go free.
I can't tell you much.
I'm not asking you to tell me much. I'm asking you to answer our questions as best you can. If you are honest with us, and our Dragonborn is very perceptive, so they'll know, you will
have
go
to
free with
ask them.
supplies so you can leave this place on your own accord. If you do not...
Persuasion check.
Hang on, not finished yet. If you
Okay.
do not,
I was gonna say if you were gonna do a positive, it's persuasion, but with the negative thing, it's an intimidation. So however you want to
Alright.
couch the question, how you want to couch the question, kind of
Yeah.
figure that out yourself. Just
That's how I
because
said.
the tone.
Casting couch.
Let's have a look at my skills.
Skills.
Because you kind of leave it hanging for a little bit and then do the persuasion. And if it works, then you can kind of go in.
It doesn't really matter which way
or
I'll
if-
go. I've only got a +1 on both.
Okay, up to you how you want to tone the offer there then.
Nat
Oh.
20 on
Nat
persuasion.
20.
Oh, beautiful!
Okay then.
Rivallon.
So,
Ooh.
Rivallon's
so look,
surprisingly
a
well
way,
spoken.
a way for you to take that, or just go like or, and then kind of like let it drift off as the implication.
the implication.
Of that.
Or if
Yeah.
you don't, and I just look across at Ustenia, who's sharpening his axe.
Sharpening the gnarled edge of cleave. Just go.
Somehow found himself like a black sack that he's fashioned into a hood.
Ostenia, stop. Too intimidating. Take off the hood.
There's like a classy look to her eyes for a second. She's remembering, looking at the symbol, looking at your armor. Then she looks up to you, directly to your eyes. You have to ask them the questions in the right way.
You hear that, Isaac?
I heard.
Yeah.
Then my work here is done.
Good job, Rivallon.
Just
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll just say good job, Rivallon, and then smoke. He gone. Bad elf.
Rivallon?
But you don't even
What did you do
disappear.
again?
You don't even. It'd be funny. You don't even disappear. You're 20 feet away. Like it's like shit. Just go, like, I thought that'd be
Mom
farther.
takes a seat because she knows she's not needed. So she just quietly
What?
goes to sit to watch and take notes. Literally, she's taking notes.
She's taking
What?
notes. She is actually taking notes.
Book of Mog. Sesh will like sit up against the wheels she's tied to and just sit down.
Okay. She's finished her breakfast and she's just kind of like sitting,
Both of them.
waiting.
She was hungry.
She didn't have dinner or anything
Fair enough.
yesterday.
Yeah.
So, what were your orders?
She's not offering resistance, but she's like her. You can tell by her eyes she's thinking of a way to answer that.
So she might be magically bound to not say things unless she's asked a certain way.
Cause problems.
Cause chaos.
When I banished you, what did I stop you from doing?
Killing the witch. Preparing commander's mount. Burning notes. Isaac's getting notes.
Different notebook.
I feel like
How many riders are there in the third company?
including you. More than there are here right now.
So we had 5
Plus
5, 10.
plus-
Right? No, it's 5 and 7, wasn't it?
It's
You
12
have
of us.
1, 2, 3, 4.
There's 12 of
You have
us in total.
7 hirelings. Yeah.
Yeah,
or
12
7
of us.
mercenaries.
Yeah.
Plus her.
So 13. There's at least
More than
13.
13.
More. There's at least 14 of them then.
Mm-hmm. Your nation, where you come from, your home. this nation plans on invading our continent?
The banished will come back.
Hmm.
In some of our cultures, there's this story. It's more centralized around the successor kingdoms of this champion who led great victories. Do you have a similar story where you're from?
It's like a lot of the kind of scared contemplativeness that she's been going through over the last couple of questions kind of drains as you're talking about that, and it's replaced with not anger but a seething kind of like just like all that's gone away, and just no, not the way you say it, no.
Is your story the opposite?
She doesn't give an affirmative in the way that is easy, but she doesn't say no.
Do you know if your commander made a deal with Zagul?
Deals require personal intervention. But the favored are just favored.
Okay. Good question. That was sorry, just out of character. Good question.
She has a set of information. I'm trying to give you the best answers I can because she can only tell you in certain ways.
No, that's fine.
It's up to you guys. It's up to you guys how you ask the question.
Has your company ever been to Takova?
I have not been there personally.
Another great question. Oh,
That's good. But I hear the Sky Tower is a beautiful sight from some.
Indeed it is. Or was. Has your company been further north to the Steppe Kingdoms?
I hear tell the border between Anbara and the Steppe Kingdoms is very empty.
Right.
what do you call your home?
The city I was born in is Biltree.
I hope you see it again someday.
Looks like she wanted to say something, but she didn't. Kind of stopped herself and then.
Okay, I need to do some reading.
Okay, our character. So, we think that they attacked the Sky Tower, causing that problem. There's a possibility that they're responsible for Ustinia's dad being killed.
Oh, what?
Oh, oh.
Oh.
Oh,
That's a-
yes.
Think about it. Destabilizing, causing chaos. What do? You take out leaders.
Yeah, you're right. And if what's her name? If Justinia's sister had gotten involved, then it would have been really fucking.
Well, we're assuming that she didn't have anything to do with it.
Yeah.
She could have actually been trying to take power on their behalf. You got an ally in the center of the land there.
Yeah, who controls one of the biggest, most powerful clans. Sorry,
Exactly.
tribes in the whole. Yeah, you're right. Dead on. Also,
Maybe
Roach, let me know
Justinia
when
was
it's been
never
an hour,
supposed to
'cause
come
it's starting.
It hasn't been anywhere near an hour. You guys,
Okay,
you guys have
just
maybe
let me know.
spent 20 minutes doing the back and forth here.
Just let me know, because I'll cast it again.
All right.
We're assuming that, what if he never came back and his brother never won?
We would have. Yeah, you're right.
I mean, she tried to get him stuck in his vision quest.
What do we remember from the conversations that Isaac's had with his auntie?
Oh, okay.
Here we go.
I was just like, let me get my notes out.
That's
mean-
another book.
That's entirely another scroll.
Whole different kettle of fish. Is there anything you're thinking specifically?
I'll be right
It's,
back,
it's
guys.
all
My
about
dinner
the
is done,
shadows.
so I'm just gonna go get that.
Everything we've
Go get
heard
it.
from all of the gods is about the shadows.
Yeah, like even Bahamut mentioned it.
Exactly.
Yeah. I've had loads of. It's all over the place.
To be fair, Bahamut mentioned the shadows thing as like a tertiary thing. He was like, be my champion, bring back the church, deal with the shadows in that order. So, maybe he's okay with these guys.
That was way too far back. That was my Christmas special that I ran.
That's a bit
Which
too
one?
far, yeah.
With the penguin one. I just had the notes of the penguin one.
Roach is gone.
Yeah, he
Yeah,
had to
no,
go
it's
gaze
gone.
in.
But we can
Yeah.
discuss. We got this is.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
This is spicy, man. Well done, well done, rival. By the way, well done.
Yeah, great. Yeah. The
Oh, for
clutch
filtration.
natural 20 right there.
Yeah, well done.
Yeah.
Well, it's just that she had no reason to help us. I mean, why would she?
Yeah, you're right. You're dead right.
We'd already discussed that she was dead either way, so she obviously knew that.
Okay, here's something
not
that
stupid.
we found out before about Zagul. Zagul appeared in the Age of Fire 500 years ago. We need to know if they still have if they call it as what's the Age of Fire to them like?
How long do elves live for?
About 700
I'm 300 years
800?
old, and apparently I'm young.
I think it's 700 or 800 years. I think.
Depends on the type of elf,
So Volred could
and
have
it depends
been
on
in-
what plane of existence they're on.
So Volred could have been in the Age of Fire.
Could have, yeah.
Elves can live well over 700 years, but then again, if you remember, elves can also be originally come from the Feywild, and the Feywild is 3 times faster than human life.
Yes.
Is it? So
It would have been more of a normal lifespan, quote unquote, in the Feywild, but here it's super long.
when time goes 3 times, so it feels like a day for them, but it's 3 days for us.
Yeah.
Well, no, it's tens. It's in hours, hour differences. So an hour there is a day there, I think. So technically, elves can be anywhere in those, depending if they've gone to the Feywild or not.
Yeah.
So yes, definitely.
Okay, I'm back. Sorry about that, guy.
Hi.
Okay.
That's
Enjoy your
cool.
dinner.
I have a steak and.
Here's a good question to ask her. How old are you?
Ooh, good one.
That's a personal question, young man. She blushes like,
Actually, I need to go check my notes on this.
She's like, I don't remember my age. Give me a second.
No, it's not that. She doesn't. Things work a little bit differently. I am 70.
That's young. That's
Yeah,
out
that's
of
quite young.
character, but that's young.
Yeah. Are you considered young where you're from? They might they might count age differently. Just
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
30, actually.
Right when I took a bite.
It's like, no,
Sorry.
no.
That's why you don't eat when you're GM.
Yeah,
Yep.
183 I am.
I'm younger than most of my position,
High achiever.
but I earned it.
That's something we both share.
We respect that.
It's not easy doing things that
How long have you been on your mission?
you just took a bite again.
He can take his time to reply.
It does give me a little bit of time. Two seasons.
That doesn't help.
No, Roach can tell us how much that helps, don't worry.
6 months. Give or take.
How long have you been on this continent?
Total,
Yes.
I've spent 2 years here. Not consecutive.
Coming and going, things like that. Different missions, things.
Atlas the First and Estra the Second.
Grand people.
Rulers, leaders, where you're from?
Yes.
Do either of them live?
Long gone for their time.
Do any of the rest of us know who those are?
They
Those
would
were the
pick
names
one
on
of
the
coins.
coins.
That was the names
Ah.
on the coin.
Right. Good man.
That was Mug's first
What?
reading.
What was the the phrase "to the restoration"? What does it mean to you?
a promise.
To who?
To everyone.
What do you know of the gods of this continent?
Not much. You point looking at Sash. You can't really point as much.
She's like, eh.
Follow the one that this is dedicated to. You follow the one that sent these, looking towards the corpses of the Crusaders, here to destroy it.
It's a working relationship.
Necessity is strange bed creates very strange bedfellows.
Is Zagul a bedfellow to your people?
I don't know someone by that name.
I show the image of Zagul, like her holy symbol, like the because we've got this. I've got a sketch. of it.
Smiling with the
The
eyes.
smile of it, and just point.
Have you seen that?
Her.
It's whatever.
It. I think it's a her.
Them.
Them.
She
It's
kind
a
of
god. Doesn't really matter.
gets it back into her hands and then brings up her symbol. This is who I.
Same thing.
No, you have the symbol. It's
Yeah,
under
no,
the.
Oh no, like
Yeah,
I'm
it's
asking
two
her if
presents.
it's the same thing. I'm asking her if it's the same thing.
I don't know.
Fair enough.
Who is that a symbol of? What do you call
She
them?
says a word, and I guess the closest approximation, if you were translating into common, would be All Mother.
All mother.
If this turns out it's a mountain with a big metal door inside, I'm gonna be so pissed off.
Yeah, we played that.
Playing
story.
Horizons.
Played that story. And Aloy was badass. And I don't want to have to go to war with her.
Okay.
Oh shit. We gotta fight mechanical animals. Well,
Yay!
Rivallon's like, my arrows don't work. Actually,
Oh no, the
they
arrows
do.
work.
Surprisingly
Have you never
well.
played it? The
Yeah,
arrows
like
work.
surprisingly well. Yeah, surprisingly well. Anyway. What does the All-Mother represent?
A return. A restoration.
She's the one who made the promise.
Yes. For everybody watching this, I know I hate. You may know watching me eat. I also don't like watching me eat.
I know people who are like super phobic of eating in front of other people as well. Or like they don't do it at all.
Do you know of a time called the Age of Fire?
Yes.
So there's a shared name there. Okay.
The event that happened 500 years ago on this world, how did it affect your people?
Greatly.
In which ways?
Very difficult ways.
Did they separate you? Segment you?
I can't answer.
Sorry.
Are all your people of elvish origin?
Yes.
Have you ever been to the Feywild?
No.
Would
Are
you
your
like to go
people
to the
descended
Feywild?
from the successor kingdoms?
What was that?
Are your people descended from the successor kingdoms?
Those kingdoms are an abomination and shouldn't exist.
Oh fuck!
That's
Thank you very
hardcore.
much.
So this is where I just write in my notes, fuck the successor kingdoms.
So, they therefore. Ah, okay. So, what do we as a group know about the successor kingdoms in terms of how they're formed? Do we just know the basics?
Wasn't it just like
Because I need to know because I know
Everybody
I've played a character.
everybody but Ustenia and Rivallon, who didn't have really formal educations,
Okay.
would know pretty
Because
a
I need
decent
to know
amount.
how much I know because obviously
And that's not a dig at you two. It's just your backgrounds
I
don't
know
really work
nothing.
in that.
anonymity?
So,
I know, but
I
like,
want to go
that's
there
it.
is to find the person who killed my family and massacre them.
Yeah.
well,
See,
Rivallon, you
my
would know a
previous-
bit because you were in them, but you don't know necessarily. You were still pretty young when it happened, so you don't know a lot about the formation. You just know it exists. Mog,
I'm just
Isaac,
trying to
trying
split
to
knowledge
separate.
from a previous character because
Mog,
remember I had a character.
Sesh, Isaac, you know the successor kingdoms came about through the great conqueror over the mountains, destroyed the elvish empire that existed on the western side of Iral.
Oh,
Uh,
fuck.
was
Yeah.
the Successor Kingdom came out because that champion, after they destroyed the last vestiges of the Empire, died, and before they could solidify their hold over the area that they conquered, it fractured with warring.
So Alexander the Great, but
lieutenants.
Elvish.
Yeah,
Well,
and,
they weren't
and-
Elvish, but
And this
Well,
is
yeah.
Babylon, and these are Babylon, and Babylon's back for vengeance.
Babylon's
baby.
like, fuck you.
and the Successor Kingdoms are the descendants of those lieutenants. So they're all like they've all been fighting over the area for like I believe it's about 1,000 years, trying to solidify holdings, and the ones that are left are the strongest or the most defensible that have survived over that time. There was about 20 at a time, but now there's a pretty small number.
There's
that
like 5,
exists.
isn't there?
Yeah.
Or 6.
Pretty close to that. One of them's
Uh,
pretty small.
So
lots
do
in the air.
I know the name of the empire that this guy conquered?
I didn't have a name that was recorded in history. It is just the Elvish Empire, or the Empire of the Elves at the time. It was not recorded.
What about the
Uh,
conqueror's
or-
name? We know his name, right?
His name?
No, it's been
is-
lost,
Ah.
They are not known.
and it's they. We don't know if it was male or female.
Oh,
They are just a figure that are
they
represented.
are a thing.
Myth.
Yep.
I mean,
You also, I mean, from like Ustania does know a little bit because Demir idolized the champion, the conqueror, because they were said to come over the mountains from the east of the mountains, which technically would put the Steppe Kingdoms in that area, and he always assumed it was a steppe warrior that had united.
could have been
the
Uteshir.
Central. Yeah, and he idolized them.
Could have been the god of
in recent
Utesh.
years. But that's what you know about the formation of the Successor Kingdoms.
Mog looks
their
up and
failed
looks at sort of
formation.
Isaac.
Yeah, I look at Isaac. I'm like, I'm not glaring, but like I'm fucking eyes on Isaac. Like, holy shit.
What do your people think of my people?
I know nothing about your people.
Do you know anything of mine?
I've traded with Dragonborn. They are fine.
I'll take it.
Oh wow.
You just
I
put it
imagine this is
together.
Isaac in character being like, oh shit.
Yeah. Isaac
Is this
doesn't
that
say that out
meme
loud.
gif? This is that meme gif where
Yeah.
Evolution.
Mind blown.
Just my Twitch chat as well are just like,
Blowing the fuck
wow.
It's like, oh.
It's the insightfulness of this. Did your people escape to where you live now?
what happened before doesn't matter anymore. Only what happens now.
They're on a reconquista.
They're Spain. Sorry, they're Castile, but also Babylon, but also elves, but also dragon riders.
They're badasses.
Well, yeah, that
Yeah.
was obvious.
That's why Rivallon finds this one so attractive. He's like, wow, you could kill me.
Yeah. Want to marry?
All right, fair enough.
We could have
For
some
your
seriously
reference,
psychopathic children.
I'm not saying you're correct or anything. I'm not saying you're correct, but also another one that just popped into my head would also be like the Aztecs and Sunset Invasion.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
another.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
another one.
That's
Yeah.
actually quite accurate, to be fair. They just
So your
sweep into
people
Europe
are
and they're
here
like, fuck
to-
all of you.
You say the successor kingdoms are an abomination, and I almost rightly so that maybe it is your destiny to retake that land, but everything that we've seen so far, this chaos you're ensuing, it seems to be affecting the rest of us. Why is that?
I follow orders.
I think it's fairly obvious.
I wanted to see what she would say.
You don't have to say anything here, Lieutenant. But my own mind thinks You're being sent out to cause the successor kingdoms, we call them, to go to war with other places or to cause internal strife among continent here, so that way nobody can react to your planned invasion. Using that teleportation circle upstairs to transport your armies quickly and efficiently across a sea that's inhospitable.
Stupid plan. Always trying to. He's always trying to get noticed.
You think it's stupid? Huh.
He's got his own agenda, doesn't he? Your commander.
He's a loyal soldier. In his own.
I'll take that as a yes. Thank you, Lieutenant.
I'm trying to think of all the other events that you guys would have told Mog about. But I can't.
There's not much.
You've been
in
together
our...
for two. You've been together for 2.5 months. You've talked
Yeah.
about everything
Yeah.
Yeah.
at this point.
There was just one time where, like, you know, things happened and stuff became things. It was
I
good.
don't think there's
One
been
time
much.
at band camp.
Let's not talk
But the
about that time.
I think the problem is like
We took this flute.
with us, we've
Well,
only
the
been
Rivallon
to what 4 nations out of the world, and this directly affects
Less.
the nations we haven't hit.
I think it's been less because I don't like. You guys were in Teutonia before we got there, and then you were in the Dwarven Freeholds for like a long time.
Freeholds, and then Step Kingdoms, and then
Gold
Taco
Republics.
Gold
Four.
Republics.
Yeah, so 4. Yeah.
Because this doesn't count as an organized nation. No offense, Sesh, because this is where you're
I
coming
mean,
from.
no, it
but
doesn't. There
we're-
are 2
we're-
city-states here. That's
Yeah,
it.
we're in the desert right now.
We're in the
If
fucking
you think
middle
about
of
it, it's a perfect place for a
Actually, we do know of one other
recon
thing.
army to work out of.
There was a cult to Zagul stopped in Harriman, I think.
No, in
We discovered
Yalhut.
in Alhut.
It was Alhut, wasn't it? Because that's where I worked.
Yeah. Did that have anything to do with your people?
Yeah, 'cause that's where
No.
I worked.
Okay. So there's aligning agendas here between people that follow Zagul and these people.
Well, clearly these people are purely out for revenge. The restoration is about
Yeah.
revenge, basically. So
And
the Ghoul's all about revenge. Well,
because
vengeance.
I
This is Red, by the way, not Mog.
yeah. No. But Lieutenant, I'm going to be honest with you. I do
Midway through
not
eating some bread.
I do not have a problem with your people's plight, and I think it's honorable for you to try to achieve what you're trying to achieve. But there is another force involved which we are directly involved with. This one we've been calling Zagul. The one we suspect has been empowering your commander, whose motives are a bit more...
Full Red wants to be promoted.
The easiest
Sorry, you
way to
cut
get
out
his
then.
promotion would be to retake the successors' kingdoms. Be the commander who
Fastest
did
way
that.
is to create a portal. For some, even though we didn't need it.
Of course you didn't need it, you got here fine.
Others will get here fine too.
Exactly.
It'll just be a little longer.
May I ask the age of Full Red of your commander? If you know it, of course.
He's been a part of the company for a long time. At least 100 years. He came from the ranks.
So he proved his way to his position.
No, he was always a commander. He came from the ranks.
He was drafted into the military. She says that word like not quite knowing what it means. As a commander?
You think ranks refers to a certain type of soldiering and not how we are current.
He's Sean Bean. Roach, he's Sean Bean.
No, that's soldiering.
Yeah. Oh,
No, you think that the way she's referring to it, she's not talking about the ranks as in an enlisted person, as in that is the label they give to a certain type of soldier, and they have a command structure of their own.
like almost what Isaac went through, like a specialized school. Is
Possibly.
Would
It
that
sounds
be how it
it
goes?
sounds different. He definitely wasn't always a writer, is the way she's trying to convey it. Implying that he spent time somewhere else as an officer, so thereby adding to his age. Was the
Where did your
thing I was
mouse
trying
come
to give
from?
you. Home. They're grown.
So you raise them
Okay.
from eggs?
Someone does. We get them when they're younger.
And they bond with you?
Usually.
and you're forced to try and shoot them with a gun that doesn't actually have any bullets with to prove your no.
No,
Fuck
I'm
outta here.
sorry, even I'd have failed that test.
Even Rivallon would be like, no, even though I killed all of my family, no.
Great film though.
Yeah, great film.
How no. Do you understand what we are looking for? Who we're looking for? It's fine.
He's chewing some steak right now.
It's a tough steak.
Nom nom.
Ah,
She's just got a bit of like hardtack. She's trying to get through the fucking thing. Snaps a tooth off like,
I may have to start making that if this if quarantine goes on longer than I expect. Yeah, we're down to hardtack and twice baked bread. I think so.
You think so?
You're very scattershot with your questions. It's hard to tell.
We're not as organized as you, maybe. But
I
what do you
noticed.
think we're here for? What do you think we're looking for?
The witch? She did talk loudly and often about a tall, hairy man with an axe.
Oh, they got you down to a Tuesday, didn't you?
Everyone looks at Esteem, you're like, everyone looks at Esteem, pauses for a second and goes, that's accurate. Continue.
I'm assuming that's you, and except for the short one that was mentioned, you've pretty much matched that to a T as a group, so I'm assuming that. Assuming you're looking for her, which, if the commander did what he
Oh, yeah, she's
wanted
dead.
me to do, yes, she's probably dead.
Yeah, she's very dead.
Oh, she's super dead.
Exceptionally.
I
She was
assume.
killed in a way that matches the motif of
Of
this demigod Zagul that we are hunting.
Interesting.
How were you told to kill the witch?
I suspect the same way you found her.
Stab through
Tell
the
me
chest
how
and-
you were told.
Why?
How were you told to kill her?
Was to kill her by taking something from her.
You were to take her eye.
It's the window to the soul.
Who
that
gave
a
you that
belief?
order?
No, hold on.
Isaac's got like paperwork that he's getting. Hold on, I wrote this down somewhere.
Is that a tradition of the All-Mother?
The eyes always meant something.
Oh boy.
Their god is
Well,
a ghoul, but they
their
see
god
her
is
in
a
a
ghoul.
different way.
Oh god.
Oh shit!
It's too much of a coincidence that they're both used.
Stash is like, I need to go talk to
She-
Bahamut again. Excuse me. Be right back. Just takes out a vial of water.
Isaac hasn't prayed in a while. Isaac needs to go pray in a while.
Damn.
Rivallon's like, I need to sharpen my bowstrings. Wait, that doesn't work like that. Sinia's like, if I sharpen this axe anymore, it's going to actually no longer be jagged.
I was hoping that Zagul was just this sort of thing that was like latching on and. Oh, but she might be their deity.
Mm-hmm. I don't think there's a might be. I think there is.
Hold on, I've got the creation myth of Zagul here somewhere.
How did the All-Mother explain how she was created?
She took back what was taken from her.
Sounds about right.
Her eye.
Her life.
Took back her eye.
Was the All-Mother's family in your creation myth for her? I don't call it a myth. That's Alex, not Isaac. Was her family killed in an
The
ambush?
All-Mother had much taken from her,
All mother.
so that she had to retake it by force.
This is sounding more and more like Zagul.
Yes,
It is the ghoul.
it is Zagul.
It is a goal.
Well,
Because
shit.
Zagul believes in vengeance, and like
And they're on the path of vengeance.
Because the creation myth of Zagul, just for reminder of those guys, is in the Age of Fire, 500 years ago, a wife of a chieftain. She was the wife of the chieftain on the mortal plane. Her real name was lost. Her family was killed in an ambush on the way to a peace accord. She was beaten and other things, but she
Abused.
was left alive. Her wounds never healed. She found that slowly her anger manifested, and she could influence the world around her. And she dedicated herself to the vengeance. Captured the last person that hurt her family and tortured the man for weeks. And then she stopped aging. And then she always claims her debt. This is as a sub point. She always claims her debt after the vengeance is met.
It's the left eye or right eye? I think it was mentioned. I think it is mentioned.
It is
I think it's the left eye that they take.
looking at it left.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that would make it the right eye, wouldn't it?
It would.
Yes.
So if that ambush towards the peace was due to the conqueror coming over the mountains,
Yeah.
that was during the successor kingdoms war.
Which was how many years ago?
1,000,
Timelines
right?
don't match. Age of Fire would have
Yeah.
been before 1800 years prior. The successor kingdoms were conquered 1,000 years ago. It's about
Yeah.
it would have been 800
Zagul didn't exist.
current
during the
epoch.
conquer.
Because right now you're in the Dusk Age.
Yeah.
Is the current epoch, so you're about 1825 or something like that. During that period. For reference, because I know timelines can be hard to wrap your
Be a
head
little
around.
fucky, you know.
Yeah.
So in
Simple
about,
fact
in about
is-
825 was when the successor kingdom's conqueror took over the Elven empires, died,
Did-
and then the successor kingdoms formed.
Did your people believe in the All-Mother before you fled?
I'm told our gods abandoned us.
Ah.
So we found a new.
Yeah.
They found Zagul.
Yeah. An entire society wanting vengeance for a past wrong.
And now
Think
Zagul is
of
using that.
all that vengeance that she could feed off. Just
Yep.
hundreds of years growing stronger and stronger.
And now they're at a point where they can invade, and it's the perfect time for her to rear her head.
And what will happen after they succeed? All of them will die.
All of them will have their price paid.
And the two people that we know she tried to take over, or did take over, have both been elves.
You're right.
You're so right. Which might mean Zagul might see something of herself in them.
Yeah, people who've been wronged.
Or she was once an elf.
Yeah.
I do not doubt that they've been wronged, but
A kinship to an elf.
tell me, Lieutenant, has the All-Mother said anything of what will happen once the restoration is complete?
The restoration will be the end. It will be restored.
Shit.
Hallowed are the Ori.
All right then.
Yellow Diora.
Wow.
I don't think we're going to get anything else out of her.
I can't think of any more questions to ask.
I've been questioning her in real time for about an hour and a half.
Yeah.
I'm gonna unchain her manacles.
I'm going to go and
Check
get
it.
her some provisions all sorted out.
I'll give her rapier back.
And her hat. Give her her hat back.
Yeah.
Yep.
I'll give her
I
her
dust
hat.
off the hat. And
Shako!
Do we have a spare horse? We don't, do we?
no.
No.
I do hope you get to see your sister again. I've told too many families about dead siblings. It's not a fun filling in time here.
Damn.
Someone cooked that steak a bit too hard, I think.
No, they did. They did. Normally I take my steaks medium, like medium rare, but this was this is well done. So.
Damn it, Roach Dad.
Well, it's chuck steak. It's not a great cut, but it's still.
It's
I
steak.
I usually take it with a bit of pink. I'm sure I'll see her again. Though I'm not sure where I'm going to go after this. It is a dust storm season, if I recall.
It is.
Okay,
this
how
area.
about we are traveling south, you can travel with us, and then once we get to...
We're going south.
Pyramid.
Yeah, I thought we were going south for Mog.
Pyramid. Yeah.
Oh.
To get to look into her brother. And while we're there, we
Okay.
can look
Yeah.
into.
So once we
These
get to
guys.
Paramin, you'll be free. To go where you like. Well, you're free now, but...
At least traveling with us, you can not die in a dust storm.
That would be preferable. Though I'm not sure how welcome I'll be there.
Why not? I mean, if you're not sure, then
She's
you
just
know.
chowing down on that.
Heart attack, man. She fucking loves it. She's like, this heart attack's fucking great.
I can't exactly say, but I suspect.
At least
it
a
could be
pyramid,
different-
you can find travel somewhere else.
Thanks for a second. You're right. I know where I'll go. If you will have me for your journey,
You answered our questions. We promised your freedom.
Welcome aboard, Lieutenant Sala.
my first name is Fearmore. Actually, Sala is my family name.
So, Lieutenant
Welcome,
Firmo,
Firmo.
welcome aboard.
Yes, thank you.
May
That's
I
how
ask
it's said.
which languages you speak? Because obviously we are using
I
a spell
speak
at the moment.
I speak my native tongue.
Which is that weird Elvish.
Sylvan
It
mix.
is proper Elvish. It's not bastardized.
Actually, you're considering what Elrond said. You're probably right on that one.
Yeah.
If you need to communicate with us, I will give
But
you.
I can make a passing. I can make passing conversations in basic Draconic.
That works.
Yeah, most of us can speak Draconic.
And if you really
I
need
am-
to get an in-depth conversation going, just let me know.
I'm quite stilted. I'm not fluent in it. I usually trade mostly.
I can teach you a few things. Maybe help you get on your feet when we get to Paramin.
And until
Thank you.
then, if you need anything, write it down, and I will be able to understand it. Write
That's
it down
true.
in your own language.
She's fantastic
I-
like that.
Don't understand how that's possible, but okay. That is quite
This is a weird continent.
It
One
is
more every
day.
strange.
What?
I pull out like a spare bag and give it to her so she can put her.
I guess we
symbol
need to have a
in it.
conversation with the mercenaries as well.
Well, we may as well just
Yeah,
send them
Elrond,
back.
we're bringing her with us.
If
But
Oh, no,
if
no.
they're
possible.
determined, they're not going to want to go there
No.
necessarily.
No, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
we give what?
The
Them
second
a
half of their
wagon, or
payment.
give them both wagons and we go back?
Well,
Well,
we're
we
gonna
need wagon for food and stuff because we have one of the wagons is for food and all that sort of stuff.
If
So we
I
split
may
the
be
wagons.
so
They
bold,
get one, we get one, and they can stay around here and pick up whatever they want.
Yes, Lieutenant?
I. The witch was trying to hide it, but she did not do a proper job of it. She has a teleportation circle that transports to an empty warehouse on the south side of Paramount.
Oh, great. Now we just need someone who can complete a teleportation circle. I've got the
We all
chalk,
look to
but,
Mog.
Mog, get back in that room.
I'm going back in that room.
That's the-
Unfortunately,
my lady
your
says it will drain
you-
some of the magic from your well of life.
No, it won't.
Will it?
It-
No, that hasn't been done yet. That
No.
wasn't that. Unfortunately, you won't be able to bring your horses or carts with you if you take that route. But if your mercenaries would like a
We
quick
could
journey,
Yeah, we
give
could send them.
mercenaries the horse and carts and tell them to
No,
look
we could
after
send the
them until we get
mercenaries to
there.
Paramin. And they could
What?
get a travel back to Kova on their own. On safer roads.
I would also like an escort up the tower to my personal quarters.
I'll go with
where I
you.
still have my belonging.
I'll go with her.
And we can use the
I'm okay with losing my horse as long as I get all the get all my customized,
Fold
clothing
that,
off the
fold
horse.
that.
Yeah, well, put that in the bag, hold it. Mainly because that's got like my character's dad's symbol on it, and
I
that's
just
quite
spent money on a
sentimental to-
warhorse. God damn it!
Well, no, I've still got a draft horse, so I'm.
Yeah,
I'm
I
okay
spent money
with
on a
it.
war horse, so I'm like,
I've got a riding
damn it.
horse,
I've
but
got
its
a
name's
riding
Ruin.
horse.
I love them.
Oh, my horse is called Lazarus. I like Lazarus.
I never named my
Elred
horse.
does step up after you've left, after the
Yeah.
lieutenant goes away.
I'll go with
He
her.
did-
She needs an escort.
Elred comes up. So I wanted to just go over this because we are technically over our contract by
Yep.
4 days.
Mhm.
Understood.
Well, at a point, it was more advantageous just to stay with you than to leave.
Yeah. I gather that we are in the middle of nowhere.
Very much nowhere. Me and the lads were going ahead, and we're leaving. We're going to be going to Paramin, overland. It shouldn't be too far, too hard, to get down there. We can follow this trade road,
Yeah.
at least for a portion of it, and then get to the coastline, and then down to Paramin. So it should take actually markedly less amount of time than it took us to get here. We were wondering, are you coming with us? Because we're planning on leaving at least tomorrow, probably.
What I'm saying is, if we get the portal set up, we can send them to Paramin straight away, and we keep all our stuff on the wagons and everything, and just go down there on the road ourselves.
You're
Yeah,
saying
We don't
we-
lose any of our
we
horses.
go
They
there
go
ahead
into
of them.
Paramin.
You're saying we're going ahead of them and meeting them there, essentially.
No,
No,
we sort
reverse
out- we
that.
send
He wants
the-
to send the mercenaries.
We send
there.
the mercenaries because they're out of contract now, so we can send them down to Paramin, and they can be there, and we're not having to pay them anything extra.
Oh, and we travel down normally.
And we travel down.
That's true.
That's
That means
fine
we keep
by
all our
us.
stuff.
Mhm.
Technically, we won't charge you extra. We're expecting our second half of the payment. Actually, now was a good time. If it was a good time, gonna suss that out. And then
about
then
we
it's
get
really
that
just
teleportation?
travel.
We get the
I mean, we don't-
teleportation circle sorted out. You guys can actually be teleported to there. We can give you the money before you go into it.
Well,
and we
well,
actually buy our stuff.
Then I would like then me and Throlo would like compensation for our horses at least then, because
Absolutely.
that's
we have 2 horses. But you can have them. I mean, they're not anything. Well, they're not necessarily anything. They're company horses. But
If you want, we can put a return sticker on them. Return to.
No, we pay.
Come
no,
on,
you
okay.
paid half up front, and it's half upon completion was the
Contract,
deal.
yeah.
Yeah, because it was a pretty beefy contract you got
it-
going.
we don't have to pay them for leaving. Here's the thing. So
No, they're just wanting what they are owed, and then they will leave whenever they want to. They were wanting to know if you were
how
going to
long
come
are
with
we
them.
planning on being in Paramin group? Just out of context, out of
No
out of
idea.
character.
No idea. We've
No
got
idea.
to look around for Mog's family, haven't we? Or
We've
brother or
got to
something.
look for Mog's brother, and there's something else in Paramin because the
Do we necessarily need our horses in Paramin for all that time? Because they could meet us with all our stuff, and we could get the head start searching things, and then they'll probably arrive by the time we're ready to leave.
We could give
what,
them
do
the
it
money
other way
now.
round?
Do it the other way around, yeah, fair enough. As long as I get my horse back, I don't care.
Yeah, we could give them the money now and say, you guys go to Paramin and
Saves
take
us
our stuff.
stabling the horses for the
Yeah.
entire time we're there as well.
As the one that is being conscripted to take your belongings,
We will give you an extra.
payment would be required.
Yes.
Yes, absolutely. You will be paid for
Absolutely.
the service of taking our stuff down to Paramin for us.
I would also point out you have treated us very well, and none of us have died. So, it's a. I was going to say this. You provide your names are now going to be on a list as a contract.
Good hire. Good hire.
Yes.
5 stars on
5
you.
stars.
Yes.
The 5 stars on
Yeah.
Yelp.
Fantasy Yelp. Yes.
5 sons of the Baylor scribing.
5 dragon heads.
It won't give you a free anything because that's not how business works. But a discounted rate in the future. I wanted to say, just use my name or Commander Renault's name, and they'll be
on
able to,
checkout and
to
yeah,
suss it
20%
out with us. We're all
Use
interconnected
code
at
Commander
another
Renault
Renault
at checkout
company
and get 50% off.
branch. But we're planning on just going down there. We've got enough money that we can spend now as a expense to get a boat back up to the Goal Rivers, and then we can be reimbursed off of what we paid for transit, and we still get paid out from that. So
Oh,
it doesn't really matter to us. So we're just going to Paramin quite literally because it's the only option here.
Yes.
It's that or Alpha.
and us
Alpha
getting the
for
head
us.
start would be great if they could
We're more than willing. There's no guarantee. There's no insurance on any of your belongings. If we get attacked or raided, it just kind of happens. But we'll try our best.
Maybe we should leave them with the sending stone in that case.
That's...
I can still cast sending.
Isaac clutches it.
Yep.
But
you
Matt
can't
will know.
contact the people I need to contact.
Well, maybe you should do that now, right? And then give them the stone because we
Point
need to
of-
be able to let them know.
Point of
what
contention, I'd rather not have a magical item because an individual
More
that
likely
wants
to
trade.
Attack them.
Yes, because that is
I
a very
will
low-level
also
spell, I'm
need
told,
be
to
able
detect
speak to my
magic.
parents.
How about if we sort this out in between episodes?
That works because we are at time.
I don't understand what that reference means, but we'll stop here for 20 to 30 seconds. 20 to 30 seconds of not doing anything, and then we'll start again as if there was, but with slightly different knowledge at that point, and much more direct.
Exactly.
So anyway, I hope you've all enjoyed this episode of Sleeping Giants
It's been a
Reborn.
hell of a one.
Thank you to Commissar Roach for writing and DMing this campaign, and as always, I am joined by surely only Mikey, Red
Hello.
Mook, Utari Onzo, Rival Zone Gaming. Catch him where you can find any Rival Zone Gaming. Catch Utari Onzo where you can catch your Utari Onzos. And I've been Midgeman. And don't forget Roach, you can find him at Roachness.
Commissar Roach on YouTube. Yes, thank you.
Yes, Roach on our YouTube and stuff. But yes, we'll be back next week, same time. For the continuation of this conversation with the mercenaries to work out who's going where and what. But my goodness, what an episode! We will see you
Holy
next
heck.
time. Goodbye.
Bye.
Bye-bye, people.
Holy heck is a great name for this episode.
Bye.